Live from the Maverick Center in West Valley City, it's Utah Grizzlies hockey, as it's the third and final game of the series between the Grizzlies and the Cincinnati Cyclones. Hi, everybody. I'm Tyson Whiting here with Guy Chiarenza. We're grooving on a Sunday afternoon as the Grizzlies take on Cincinnati for the third time in 5 days. It's the final game of the series. Cincinnati got a victory on Wednesday night, 6-4, as it was tied at 4 with about 2.5 minutes left in regulation. Then Patrick Polino scored the game winner. Then Cincinnati added an empty netter. The Grizzlies had an outstanding game from Jordan Martell, who had 2 goals and 1 assist. On Friday night, Jared Power and Keaton Jamison dominated action for the first 2 periods, as Power scored his first professional goal with about 3 minutes left in the second period. He had 1 goal and 1 assist. Keaton Jamison also had 1 goal and 1 assist. Grizzlies outshot the Cyclones 30-27. But Cincinnati took a 4-2 lead halfway through the first period, halfway through the second period. And then Power scored late in the second, and the Grizzlies really just kept battling. Cincinnati scored a goal early in the third period to make it 4-2, and then Johnny Walker redirected a Zach Secco shot with less than 2 minutes left in regulation. Furious rally by the Grizzlies at the end, but it wasn't enough as Cincinnati held on for the 4-3 victory, as the Cyclones now have a standing point in 20 straight games. As for the Grizzlies, they're in a playoff race. They are tied with Rapid City for 5th in the Mountain Division with 61 standings points. We'll be doing some scoreboard watching as Rapid City is at Fort Wayne today. We'll also keep an eye on Kansas City and Tulsa. Believe it or not, Tulsa defeated Kansas City yesterday, so that helped out the Grizzlies. The final score of that game was 4-3. Tulsa with the road victory, and they'll have the rubber match. This one will be in Tulsa at BOK Center, so we'll keep an eye on that one as well. Starting in net for the Grizzlies will be Trent Miner. He'll be going up against Beck Warm for the second straight game. When we come back to the Grizzlies pregame report, we'll talk with Guy Chiarenza and get his thoughts on things as we're grooving on a Sunday afternoon, and you're listening to the Grizzlies Hockey Network, presented by Rio Tinto Kennecott.
Maverick's new bean-to-cup machines always deliver a freshly ground cup of coffee on demand, so you can enjoy any of our premium roasts at their best, day or night, hot or iced. Enjoy a fresh cup today.
When you pay with the Nitro card at Maverick, you always save 10 cents or more on fuel every gallon, every day. And you could save a whole lot more thanks to Nitro Best Price. Pick up a Nitro card and upgrade your Adventure Club account.
Welcome back to the Grizzlies Hockey Network. I'm Tyson Whiting here with Guy Chiarenza. Breaking news, I buried the lead during the first segment. Brandon Cutler's back. He was released from his PTO with the AHL's Colorado Eagles. He's appeared with 3 different AHL teams this season, and Brandon Cutler is back in a Grizzlies uniform. He'll be wearing number 29. And, Guy, that's certainly a huge addition for the Grizzlies, who lost 2 left wingers last week in Cam Strong and Dakota Raby. They get their top left wing back in Brandon Cutler.
Oh, Tyson, this is huge, and this couldn't have not have happened at a better time for the Grizzlies. You're right. You mentioned losing those 2 left wingers. You bring in a guy like Brandon Cutler, 21 points in 22 games with the Grizzlies this season. Every time he dons the Grizzlies uniform, he does something special, so great to have him back in the lineup.
What is this song?
I don't know. I'm not entirely sure what kind of vibe they're trying to build here at the Maverick Center.
It's a pretty cool vibe, though.
It's cool.
It's chill.
It's a little mystical, a little chill. You mentioned we're grooving on a Sunday afternoon.
How about the Grizzlies uniforms
today?
Captain America themed jerseys this evening. Especially jerseys, Captain America themed, and just like Friday night, you can bid on them on the Dash Auction app. Johnny Walker right now going for $340. I think the leader in the clubhouse right now is Christian Simeone at a cool $450. Here, game-worn jerseys on the Dash Auction app, as you can get the Captain America-themed jerseys the Grizzlies are wearing this afternoon. But it's really not the jerseys, but it's the players in the jerseys. And for the Grizzlies, it was outstanding on Friday night to get good performances from Keaton Jamison, who had 1 goal and 1 assist, And how about Jared Power really settling in as a pro, picked up his first pro goal on Friday night?
I mean, those two guys have a lot of chemistry together, and you put them on a line with Jordan Martell. You got a pretty solid third line there. I like the way the Power played. Same with Jamison. And it's really good to see Power kind of get the monkey off his back, get that first goal out of the way, and now really he can get back to just playing his game. And I really thought he really settled into that game on Friday night and played quite well. Jamison helped him out. Each guy had a goal and an assist. So look for those guys to be difference makers here tonight.
I think it's been good to see other guys step up for the Grizzlies, and it's been different players each game. Wednesday it was the Rooster with 2 goals, 1 assist. Friday night was Jamison and Power. I think that's a good thing for the Grizzlies and really going forward for the rest of the regular season as well. We got 10 games left with the, starting today. For the Grizzlies, it's going to have to be a different guy every night to step up for them.
Well, and it seems like it has been, Tyson. I mean, every single day. I mean, we make our picks for Optum first goal of the game, and every night it seems like it's a different guy. And that's because the Grizzlies are getting depth scoring. You see guys throughout the lineup. I mean, Power, Jamison are playing well. Wright and Pfizer always seem to have a goal in them every single game. Johnny Walker back in the lineup. That's big. I mean, just guys all throughout the lineup are performing well. You can even look to the defense for a few goals. James Shearer has been known to put the puck in then a few times. Same with Aaron Thoe. I mean, just guys all throughout the Grizzlies lineup are contributing. And that's exactly what you want to see come playoff time, because it's the teams that have depth scoring from guys that you wouldn't necessarily expect it to come from. Those are the teams that make the playoffs, and those are the teams that go far in the playoffs.
When I think about what Cincinnati's done in this series, 2 power play goals. They've got a power play goal in each of the first 2 games. They've also got 3 shorthanded goals. So you think about 5-on-5, the Grizzlies have really held their own pretty good against a very strong Cincinnati team who's got the second best record in the league.
Yeah, well, Tyson, I mean, you think about it. If you take away all special teams goals throughout the course of this series, the Grizzlies win. I mean, they're winning the 5-on-5 battle. It's just the fact that they've been giving up the shorthanded goals, and then the power play hasn't exactly been connecting. That's a tough break for the Grizzlies. And so I really think once again here today, it's whoever wins the special teams battle, that's the team that's going to win the game.
Cincinnati leads the league in shorthanded goals this season. And unfortunately, from the Grizzlies' perspective, they've allowed just about the most shorthanded goals in the league. So you got to watch out for the special teams in particular. When you've got the power play, you got to make sure the 2 defensemen get back and don't let Cincinnati get any good scoring chances shorthanded. Now, for the Grizzlies, I think they do need to generate something on their power play this afternoon. And as we've seen, it's the same referee that we saw on Wednesday and Friday night, Marc-Olivier Phaneuf. And, if he's going to call it tight once again this afternoon, that means both teams are going to get a lot of power play opportunities. So that's where I think special teams is going to play a big factor here.
Yeah, I imagine that's going to be the case. I think we are going to see the Grizzlies power play get a few cracks at it here tonight. I also think that the penalty kill played pretty well in Friday night's loss, so I don't think there's an area of concern there. But really for the power play, it's just kind of been struggling as of late. And really, I think that when a power play has been struggling, puck movement is good, yes, but I think you just got to start firing pucks on net. And I think you just got to get that confidence back in that unit, just kind of get them to gel, just start taking shots on net, maybe 1-2 pass and then shoot. I think the Grizzlies, if they just got more pucks on net, got a guy out there and just get one in, maybe the power play will start rolling from there.
Who's your pick for the Optum first goal of the game? Optum is putting you at the center of everything we do. Optum is committed to making healthcare work better, leading the way to better experiences, better health, and lower costs for you. Guy who you got scoring first for Utah?
Well, Tyson, I got the worm here tonight. Johnny Walker, he's been a thorn in the Cyclones side all series long. I think he's going to be a big pain tonight for them. I think he's going to get the first goal.
So you got Johnny Walker redirected the Zach Secco shot for Utah's 3rd goal on Friday. That's a pretty good pick. I got a feeling Zach Secco is going to score from the high slot with a wrist shot, with a lefty wrist shot that's just going to have a lot of traffic out in front. It's just going to kind of swirl its way towards the back of the net and past Cincinnati goaltender Beck Warm. So I think Zach Secco is my pick for the Optum first goal of the game. And really, if the Grizzlies want to have success here this afternoon, I got a feeling that Cameron Wright, Zach Seckos, Brandon Cutler, and Taryn Pfizer are going to have to contribute big.
Yeah, I agree, Tyson. I mean, we talked about the Grizzlies' depth scoring, and depth scoring is good, but you also need your big guns to perform. So you think about Cameron Wright has been held scoreless throughout the course of this series, as has Taryn Pfizer. So the Grizzlies really need their big guns to step up here tonight if they want to walk out of here with 2 points.
Thanks for the time. We'll talk to you during the intermissions
All right,
today.
thank you, Tyson.
That's Guy Chiarenza. When we come back, we'll give you the starting lineups for both teams. It's the Grizzlies and the Cyclones, and we're in business on a Sunday afternoon, and you're listening to the Grizzlies Hockey Network, presented by Rio Tinto Kennecott.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can, and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
Welcome back to Utah Grizzlies hockey. I'm Tyson Whiting. Fans are still filing in here. Looks like we got a pretty good Sunday afternoon crowd set up at Maverick Center for the final game of this three-game series and last season meeting between the Grizzlies and the Cincinnati Cyclones. Let's get to the starting lineups for both teams. First, for the visiting Cincinnati Cyclones, who have a record of 42, 12, 6, and 3. They have 93 standings points, and they have a standing point in 20 straight games. They have a victory in 8 straight. February 5th was the last time the Cyclones lost in regulation. It was a 5-2 decision at Kalamazoo. Starting in net is Beck Warm, who's 6 feet, 175 pounds. Warm leads the league with 25 victories this year. He's got a record of 25, 6, 4, and 2 with 1 shutout, a 2.86 goals against average, and even 900 save percentage. So Beck Warm will get the start in net for the Cincinnati Cyclones. His backup is Mark Sinclair, who got the start and got the victory on Wednesday afternoon. So it'll be interesting to see what Beck Warm does once again. He stopped 27 of 30 in Friday night's game, as both teams had yesterday off. So he's got an even 900 save percentage for the season and an even 900 save percentage on Friday night, and was good enough to win. Starting defensive pairing for Cincinnati, Jalen Smerrick, who was the number 1 star on Friday night. He had 2 goals. Smerrick has 9 goals and 34 assists in 47 games. He's also got a plus 32 rating. He'll be paired up with Zach Berzola. Berzola, wearing number 18, has 4 goals and 15 assists in 48 games. Berzola has been impressive in this series. 6'2" and 188 pounds. He has 4 goals and 15 assists, and he's got a plus 12 rating. The other defensemen we're expected to see tonight for Cincinnati include Sean Allen, number 4, who's got 9 assists and 162 penalty minutes. Allen, a plus 24 this season. He'll be paired up with Dejan Mingo, who's 5'9" and 180 pounds. He has 3 goals and 10 assists in 20 games. Mingo wearing number 25. And Stephen McLean will be the 5th defenseman as Cincinnati, rolling with 5 defensemen today. McLean is a big guy at 6'7" and 216 pounds. 10 forwards in the lineup for Cincinnati. The starting forward, Zach Andrusiak. He's got 27 goals and 38 assists. He's played in 54 games and has a plus 18 rating. Andrusiak, a few years ago, got his first professional goal here at Maverick Center as a member of the Idaho Steelheads. He'll be paired up with Louis Caparuso, who leads the Cyclones with 45 assists this year. And he also leads the Cyclones with 66 points. Caparuso is not a very big guy at 5'9", 185 pounds. He is 33 years old, but still moves pretty well. 5'9", 185 pounds, so we're number 23. And the Cincinnati captain, Justin Vive, who has 30 goals and 16 assists in 63 games. Vive among the all-time leaders in many categories in Cincinnati. Vive has been a Cincinnati Cyclone for many, many years. He's been outstanding for the Cyclones. Watch out for him. He scored an empty net goal on Wednesday. He'll be wearing number 46. He's starting forward line for Cincinnati, which is one of the best forward lines in the league. And Justin Vive, Louis Caparuso, and Zach Andrusiak. Other forwards for Cincinnati, Lee Lapide, who had 1 goal and 1 assist on Friday. He'll be paired up with Josh Passote and Cody Caron. We'll also see the former Grizzly Luka Burzan in there. Burzan played in 41 games for the Grizzlies last year. He's got 16 points in 17 games. Patrick Polino's been outstanding this series. He had 2 goals on Wednesday night, including the game winner with just over 2 minutes left. And Polino with a power play goal late in the first period on Friday. He'll wear number 27. And the former Grizzly Matt Berry will be in there. Berry's got 57 points in 58 games, 15 goals and 42 assists. And Adam Berg, who has 2 goals in 10 games this season. Berg is 6'1", 201 pounds. The starting forwards are Vive, Caparuso, and Andrusiak. We'll also see Passote, Lapide, Caron, along with Burzan, Polino, Berry, and Adam Berg. Now for the lineup for the Utah Grizzlies, led by second-year head coach Ryan Kanasowicz. His assistant is Jared Pike, the Sandy, Utah native. Utah this season is 29, 30, and 3. At home, they are 13 and 15. Starting in net is Trent Miner, who's making his 30th appearance this season. Miner's got a record of 12, 13, and 2 with 2 shutouts. He has 9 career shutouts with the Grizzlies and 10 overall as a pro. He's a 3.15 goals against average and 908 save percentage. Miner, the former 7th-round pick of the Colorado Avalanche. Back in 2019, he's 6'1" and 198 pounds. The backup goaltender is Salt Lake City native Garrett Metcalf. Lucas Preek is the 3rd goaltender, and he's a scratch. Starting defensive pairing for the Grizzlies, Captain Connor McDonald, who grew up about 2 hours from the Cincinnati area. He's got 4 goals and 12 assists in 56 games. He leads the Grizzlies with a +6 rating. He'll be paired up with James Shearer, who's got 5 goals and 16 assists. He had 1 assist on Friday night. In 44 games this season, he's 5'9" and 185 pounds. Shearer, one of 2 alternate captains for the Grizzlies this afternoon. Connor McDonald wearing the C, so the starting defensive pairing is McDonald and Shearer. You also see Bryson Martin in there wearing number 14. He'll be a defenseman who's making his 50th appearance this season. Aaron Tho, number 28, has 5 goals and 12 assists in 57 games. Jacob Semick is in there, making his 6th professional appearance out of Arizona State. He played at ASU this year and had a +9 rating. And also in there for the Grizzlies is Kyle Pouncey, number 23. He is 6'3", 181 pounds, 3 goals and 6 assists. Defensive scratches for the Grizzlies this afternoon. Corey Thomas has missed about the last 2 months. In fact, he last played on February 4th. He's coming back from a lower body injury, and hopefully he'll be back sometime later this season. He's a big guy at 6'5" and 215 pounds. Victor Bartley is out of the Grizzlies lineup this afternoon. In 41 games, he has 1 goal and 11 assists. Starting forwards for the Grizzlies, Taryn Fizer, who leads the club with 23 goals this season. He is tied for 2nd with 41 points. He'll be out there wearing number 8. Fizer is 5'11" and 176 pounds, played in the WHL with the Victoria Royals. The Grizzlies Iron Man Tyler Penner is in there. Of course he is. He played in all 72 games last season, and he is now appearing in all 63 games for the Grizzlies this year. He played his college hockey at Colgate. 2 years ago, he was a member of the SPHL's Birmingham Bulls, and it's his 2nd year with the Grizzlies. And if you joined us late, Brandon Cutler is back. He was just reassigned. He actually was released from his player tryout with the Colorado Eagles. And obviously the Grizzlies have his ECHL rights. In 22 games this season, Cutler has 10 goals and 11 assists, and it's certainly big to get the left winger back because the Grizzlies lost left wingers Cam Strong and Dakota Raby for the rest of the season. So getting Brandon Cutler back is certainly big for the Grizzlies. Remember, he had a game for the ages on January 27th against Rapid City where he had 4 goals and 2 assists. He had 6 points, and that week won the league's Player of the Week award. Cutler will wear number 29, and it's great to see him back out there for the Grizzlies. He'll be paired up with Penner and Taryn Fizer. Other forwards for the Grizzlies this afternoon, Johnny Walker, the Arizona State product, who's got a master's degree, and he's also got a master's degree in deflecting pucks towards the back of the net. Watch out for him out in front. He's got 11 goals and 5 assists in 31 games. Keaton Jamison had 1 goal and 1 assist on Friday night. He'll be wearing number 12, the former Fort Wayne Comet. Dylan Fitz is 3rd on the club with 15 goals. Him along with James Shearer, the 2 guys who are wearing the A's on their sweater as his alternate captains. Watch out for Cameron Wright, who leads the Grizzlies with 48 points this season, and he leads all league rookies in shots on goal. Watch out for Cameron Wright. Zach Sekos, my pick for the Optum first goal of the game. Everybody make your pick as to who's going to score first for the Grizzlies this afternoon. I'm going with Sekos, who's got 12 goals and 11 assists in 29 games. Jared Power got his first as a pro on Friday night. We'll also see Christian Simeone out there, and the Rooster, Jordan Martell, who had 2 goals and 1 assist on Wednesday night. Grizzlies wearing the Captain America-themed jerseys. Well, it'd be tough to describe all of it. Luckily, the numbers are easy to describe on the back. Go to the Grizzlies' social media channels to find out what the uniform looks like. Cincinnati wearing a black jersey with red numbers. And when we come back in 90 seconds, we'll have face-off here at Maverick Center. It's the Grizzlies and the Cyclones coming up next on the Grizzlies Talking.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
Expectations here will always remain high, and we'll continue to find a way.
Guys put together a lot of good games, you know.
It's a great night for hockey as two big standings points are on the line as the Grizzlies take on the Cincinnati Cyclones in the last of a three-game series. Cincinnati won 6-4 on Wednesday, but it was really a one-goal game with an empty netter at the end. Grizzlies battled towards the end on Friday as they lost 4-3. As Johnny Walker redirected a shot with less than 2 minutes left, and the Grizzlies with a furious rally to try to tie it up, but it just wasn't enough. Starting in net for the Grizzlies will be Trent Miner, who's making his 30th appearance this season. He's the Grizzlies' all-time shutout king with 9. He's got 10 professional shutouts. In net for Cincinnati is Beck Warm, who's wearing number 35. Warm leads the Grizzlies, or he leads the league with 25 victories this season. Second-year head coach Ryan Kanasowicz watching his unit in the Captain America specialty jerseys. Connor McDonald and James Scher, the starting defensive pairing. Tyler Penner will take the opening face-off against Louis Caparuso. Taryn Pfizer out there to start the game, as well as Brandon Cutler back after being released from a PTO with the AHL's Colorado Eagles. Cincinnati wins the draw. We're underway. Pfizer takes it away. Skates around the net, and looks like Warm covers up as we get a whistle 10 seconds in. Draw's going to be in the Cincinnati zone. Referee this afternoon is Marc-Olivier Faneuf. Linesmen are Andrew Collins and Craig Peterson. Grizzlies skating from right to left as we see it from high top section 114. In your mind's eye, see it on YouTube. Yeah, I know what YouTube's normally known for, but we'll try to paint a picture for you. Cincinnati skating from our left to our right. Cyclones win the draw. Smerrick rolls it around the boards. Left point, sure. Lefty shot. Saved by Warm as he makes the body stop and holds on as we get our second whistle 16 seconds into the game. Good Sunday crowd filing in here to Maverick Center on a late March, although it kind of feels like late February outside. My goodness, is spring ever going to get here? Penner will take the face-off for the third time, and for the third time, Cincinnati wins the draw as Justin Vive will lift it out to center ice. It's gloved by McDonald, who drops it and directs over to Taryn Pfizer as Pfizer skates around Cutler. Now left wing pass will tap off a stick and hits off the glass and off and out of play. As it goes into the visiting penalty box, Luke Mead, the off-ice official, looking around for someone to throw it to, and he gets it to a young one over in the front row behind the visiting penalty box. Draw is going to come out to center ice. Fourth face-off already, and we're just 26 seconds in. And for the fourth time, the draw is won by Cincinnati as Caparuso tried to dump it in, bounced off a Penner's stick. Now across to Andrusiak to the right side, tried to dump it in, but it bounced off a Scher, who moves it to Pfizer. Pfizer to the right wing, crosses center ice. Now he gains the line and dumps it in. Pfizer at the end of his shift. Grizzlies will get some new skaters out. Utah behind the net centers it, picked off by Vive. Cyclones from left to right as Andrusiak along the right wing, skates along the near boards, gets around Johnny Walker as Andrusiak drives over to the high slot. Mingo fanned on it as it goes back to center ice. Andrusiak skates over towards the Grizzlies bench, takes a shot, saved by Miner. Now Bryson Martin gathers the puck, former third-round pick of the Buffalo Sabres. Martin is 6'2" as he surveys, as Martin will feed it to the near side. And it goes to Zach Sekos, who crosses center ice. He's got a college-style mask as he was hit in the face last Sunday. Centers out in front and bounced off a stick and flies towards Beck Warm, who makes the save. And Sekos skated towards the corner, tried to find Cameron Wright out in front. It bounced off a Cincinnati stick and went towards the Cyclones goaltender, who was able to gather it up. 18:43 left in the first. Don't forget the Wichita Thunder will be in town for a 3-game series this week. Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. Face off all 3 nights will be at 7:10. Get your tickets at UtahGrizzlies.com. That's certainly going to be huge in the standings. Wichita's in second place in the Mountain Division. Grizzlies win the draw. Left side, Martin skates towards the corner as he's being shadowed by Cincinnati, and Cody Cron, number 26. The puck rolls along the boards. Dejan Mingo backhand pass ahead to Josh Passo. Gets out to center ice. Grizzlies trying to push it back in, but Utah is offside as Cameron Wright couldn't tag up as Jared Power was out there. Draw's going to be at neutral ice near the Cincinnati bench. What, have we already had like 6 whistles here in the first minute and a half? Well, we're off to a flying start here in the series finale. It's game 63 for the Grizzlies and game 64 for Cincinnati. Cyclones in first place in the Central Division as they're in a battle with Toledo for the division titles. Toledo's long winning streak came to an end on Friday. Cincinnati wins the draw. Cody Cron down the middle, high slot. Righty shot saved by Minor. Grizzlies come back the other way. Jordan Martell, the Rooster, left wing pass to Fitz, who skates towards the left circle. Fitz backhand shot saved by Warm. And he holds on with 18-13 left in the first as we got another whistle and another face-off. This time it's going to be in the Cincinnati zone. One of the linesmen, Craig Peterson, took a spill as he's laughing it off as he stands near the Cincinnati goaltender. Cyclones with 2 shots already. The Grizzlies have taken 3. Fitz talking it over. Jameson's going to take the face-off. The Roosters on the right wing. Up top is Jacob Semick and Aaron Tho. Watch out for Tho. He can be dangerous offensively as he's pretty aggressive out there and can score in bunches. Off the draw, Semick, left wing shot, saved by Warm. It's already the 3rd shot by the Grizzlies, as now it goes out to center ice. Semick, the ASU product, across the Tho on the right side, tried to dump it in, but he bounced off the Rooster. As goes back to the neutral ice, chasing after it's Matt Berry, but it gets poked away by Dylan Fitz. As Semick across the Tho, he's to the far side. Tho now at neutral ice, across the center and dumps it in. As it's gloved by Sean Allen, outlet pass to Polino. It glanced off his stick and rolls deep into the Grizzlies zone. Sure around now. Polino gets spun around by Connor McDonald, who will tap it off of Polino, who gets it in the left point. Polino skates towards his right. He'll take a righty shot, and it's blocked. As it got blocked by Simeone. Oh, it looks like Simeone is hurt. Polino gets it across. Simeone is limping on the ice. Barry in the left side. Over to Polino. Simeone's still out there as Polino skates towards his right. Throws it behind his back. Now goes to Mingo in the left point. Cincinnati rolls along the wall. Simeone blocked the shot, and he is limping out there, but he's going to stay out there and try to contribute. Brazola throws to the corner. Polino from the right side tries to dump it in. It glanced off a Grizzly stick and flies in the air. Dropped by Sekos, who clears it out. As Cincinnati resets, Simeone comes off the ice as he looks like he was limping badly. He'll be looked over by the trainer, Colin Lee. Grizzlies get it as Brandon Cutler crosses center ice. Cutler skates towards his right as he enters the zone. Cutler with great speed skates towards the right circle. Take a lefty shot and it goes wide, but glides along the boards and rolls into the Grizzly zone as Martin couldn't cut it off at the Cincinnati blue line. 16:40 and counting left in the first. We're still early on, so grab some chips and dip and a beverage of your choice and enjoy a little bit of Sunday with us. As Tyler Penner from neutral ice dumps it in. Cutler gets around a skater. And that's Dejan Mingo. Now Cutler behind the net tried to center it, but it bounced off of Smerik's stick and rolls towards the far side. Vive over to Smerik, who skates towards the corner deep in his own zone. Across to Mingo, who glides along the near boards. And Druziak over to Caparuso. Gets it poked away by Cutler. Now Smerik clears it out. And Druziak couldn't reach it at the Utah blue line. The whistle blows and icing is on the Cyclones. With 16:12 left in the first. Utah make a line change. Cincinnati will have to stay out there. There are days off between the 3 games in the series, a day off Thursday and a day off Saturday. Altitude may not make as much of a factor. It may not make as much of a difference as it does in normal series when you got to play 3 games in 4 days, or in some cases, 3 games in 3 days. Both teams should have enough energy with yesterday being an off day, which isn't normally the case on Sunday games here. Draw won by Cincinnati. They're in their own zone, skating from left to right as Druziak gets it from Vive. He crosses center ice and dumps it in as the Cyclones make a line change. Trent Miner thinks about outletting it. Instead, he'll hand it off to Semick as Grizzlies throw it to center ice for Cameron Wright, who glides it across to Walker. Walker dishes down the middle for Semick. He'll take a lefty shot. Saved by Warm. Semick looking for his first pro goal and almost got it on a pass from his college teammate, Johnny Walker. Cincinnati back deep in their own zone as McLean will tap it off the near boards. Chasing after it, Semick, and the arm is raised by linesman Craig Peterson as icing is called on Cincinnati with 15:39 left in the first. Well, we've seen a ton of whistles here early on. Make sure to follow the Grizzlies on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok. I'm on Twitter at Tyson on Sports. Draw is going to be in the far circle. Jamison will take the draw. He's out there with the Rooster and Dylan Fitz. Jamison was outstanding on Friday night. As the draw won by Jamison, but it goes between the Grizzlies' defensive pairing, and Semick will chase after it, and he gets at the Utah blue line. He'll toss to center ice for Fitz, who fans on a pass, make that Jamison. Adam Berg crosses center ice. He'll tap it off the far boards. Berg battles with, though. He'll drift to the corner for Lapide. It hits off Lapide. Now Berg back to Lapide, who skates towards the right point. Lapide now will skate towards his left. Backhand pass to Allen, left point. Allen with a shot that goes wide. Puck lines along the near boards. Fitz tries to clear it out. McLean keeps it in. He'll take a right wing shot that goes wide. As it glides along the far board, Semick will backhand it out to Martel. Now goes Jamison. He gets it taken away. Skating into the right side is Adam Berg. Centering pass, make that shot. Saved by Minor on a backhand attempt. As Smerrick keeps it into the left side, skates down the middle. Smerrick will try to center it. It's picked off by Jamison. Jamison around Utah's net. He'll feed across it. Tapped off a skate of Cincinnati and flies into the Cyclone zone. Cincinnati back towards the near side. As Zach Brazola nudges ahead to Matt Berry. Picked off by Penner. Now it rolls to Vive. Vive over to Polino, who skates towards the right side as Polino up top for Brazola. Right wing shot, saved by Minor. Rebound goes to Utah. Martel clears it out. Cincinnati chasing after it. Rolls towards Beck Warmer. Throws an outlet pass. It bounced off of Penner. Now it scores towards Polino on the near side of Cincinnati zone. Will move it ahead to Matt Berry. Now to Luca Burzan. Burzan, the right side, steps over the offensive line, stops the point, gets to Matt Berry, but it rolls along the boards. Berry couldn't cut it off. As Grizzlies, McDonald lifts it high into the air. It goes over the head of Mingo, chases after it, and it's going to be icing on Utah with 14:05 left in the first. Cincinnati's taken 5 shots. The Grizzlies have taken 4 here early on. During each of the intermissions, we'll talk with Guy Chiarenza, who's working on a demo tape right now. Boy, anybody who hires Guy Chiarenza during the offseason is a lucky organization. Tim Broussard, we'll talk with him. He's here on press row. It's nice to actually have a busy press row here on a Sunday afternoon. We'll talk with Tim during the intermissions as well. As the Grizzlies win the draw, they're in their own zone as James Shure to the near side will move it ahead as it goes to Brandon Cutler. Backhand pass connects as Taryn Pfizer skates towards the right wing. Cross-ice pass to Penner. It glanced off his skate and rolls towards Sean Allen of Cincinnati. Pass the near side for Andrusiak. Now to Camparuso. Gets cut off by Pfizer. Pfizer takes the puck away from him and so glided out to the right side for Sekos. Glanced off of him as Cincinnati, Sean Allen holds up the Grizzlies skater, and that was Sekos. Sekos wanted a penalty, none to be had. Deep in the Grizzlies zone in the corner, Kyle Pouncey battles with the Cincinnati 23, Camparuso. Centering pass picked off by Sekos out in front. Grizzlies glided out to center. Johnny Walker gets held up. No call made. Now Walker will push Adam Berg. Grizzlies get it right side. Connect fires it across. One-timer is blocked. Puck rolls back towards Bryson Martin. They center to Sekos. Now Cameron Wright. Right wing shot, and that one goes wide as Grizzlies get it up top for Pouncey. He'll fire a shot, kick saved by Warm. The arm is raised by the referee. It looks like we get a penalty as the puck glided to the corner as Warm made a save. It looks like it's going to be on Cincinnati as Zach Berzola goes to the Rogers and Russell Legal Solutions holding cell. We'll be back in 1 minute. No score. The Grizzlies will be on the power play for the first time this afternoon on the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
Zach Berzola is in the Rogers and Russell Legal Solutions holding cell. 2 minutes for tripping as Utah gets their first power play of the game. No score here at Maverick Center. Utah's taken 6 shots. Cincinnati's taken 5. Have you or someone you know been charged with a DUI? Rogers and Russell is Utah's DUI defense firm. Consequences for driving under the influence in Utah are serious, and you need great attorneys on your first line. Look for a letter in the mail from Rogers and Russell inviting you to schedule a free consultation. Don't throw away or disregard this letter. Call and get Utah's #1 DUI defense team, Rogers and Russell. Utah this season is 18.2% on the power play. Cincinnati's penalty kill is 82.4%. Cincinnati has 3 shorthanded goals in this series. They lead the league with 15 shorthanded goals this season. Cyclones win the face-off as 3-on-2. Luka Burzan crosses center ice, right wing. Burzan skates towards the right circle, take a lefty shot, and it goes wide and deflects off the protective netting as he tried to go top shelf on Trent Miner and missed high as the draw's going to be in the Grizzlies. That's one of the things you got to do, with Cincinnati being as aggressive, shorthanded as they are, very similar to how the Grizzlies were last season, shorthanded. You got to make sure that you're disciplined up top and don't let Cincinnati get behind you for breakaways and things like that. And Cincinnati won the faceoff and had a 3-on-2. Polino would take the draw. He scored a power play goal late in the first period last night. This season, he has 22 goals. Grizzlies win the draw. Zach Sekos skates down the middle in the college-style mask. As Sekos, the right wing, gains neutral ice, drops it off for Wright. Cameron Wright on the right side across to Cutler, who gains center ice. No, wrap it around the boards. As goes to Terran Pfizer in the right corner. He bobbles the puck for a second. Burzan in the area. As Grizzlies still in the corner. Brandon Cutler over there as he battles Cameron Wright, surveys. Now the puck squirts towards the middle. And it gets poked away by Beck Warm. And clearing it out to Patrick Polino as he glides it all the way out towards Trent Miner. As Cincinnati makes a line change here early on. 1:10 left in the Grizzlies' first power play. Both teams have taken 6 shots. As Sekos to neutral ice, crosses center. Drops off for Cameron Wright as Wright crosses center ice now. He'll throw a right wing pass to Pfizer. Back to Wright, who's in the right corner. Shot, kick saved by Warm. Down the slot, Pfizer fanned on it, but gets it back. Pfizer gets it poked away. He'll get it to Cutler in the left point. Cutler fires towards the near goal line as Johnny Walker gets it back up top for Cutler. Cutler just back after spending some time in the AHL with Colorado. He'll nudge it up top for Sekos across to right. I try to get to the far circle and puck kind of glides slowly over there. Beck Warm will direct it ahead and Cincinnati clears it out. About 30 seconds left in Utah's power play. Both teams to make a line change as Sekos will drop it off for James Shearer. Sekos will come off the ice in the end of his shift as he'll be replaced by the Rooster. Sekos will throw it to the right side for Fitz, who dumps it in as Warm couldn't cut it off as it rolls towards the near corner. As Jamison battles, throws up top for Shearer. Left point, Shearer wearing number 10 over to Jamison. He couldn't reach it. Karan moves ahead to Smerek, but it's poked away by Shearer. Now the Grizzlies get it back. Martel on the left side gains the line, and he gets pushed towards the corner. Cincinnati's back at full strength as the puck goes into the Grizzlies zone. Berzola couldn't reach it, so he'll skate towards the bench. 9 minutes into the contest, still no score. Utah's outshot Cincinnati 7-6 as the Cyclones, a perfect 1-for-1 so far on the power play. Grizzlies have yet to commit a penalty. Martin, rink wide pass to Martel, glanced off his stick, fits it neutral ice, will dump it in as he fires it off the far wing boards. Grizzlies make a line change as Cincinnati back deep in their own zone. 10.5 minutes left in the first, and we're still looking for the game's first goal. Cincinnati has scored first in each of the first 2 games of the series. Sean Allen will throw it to the near side and goes to Patrick Polino. Glides it ahead to Vive. Taps off Vive's stick and flies deep in the Grizzly zone as it rolls along the near wing boards. Miner clears it out to center. Berzola gets at the center ice logo and will back it out into Cincinnati territories. He's back in his own zone. Across to Smerek at center ice. He'll pass to the Utah blue line for Polino. Left wing will skate towards the circle. Polino stops as he was cut off by Jared Power. Now around the net, Vive over to the right side. He wears the captain's C over to Andrusiak, who will kick it across to Smerek off the board. Smerek fumbled the puck. Grizzlies get it. 1-on-2. Tyler Penner will skate towards the right circle. Vive pokes it away. Penner gets held up along the boards by Vive as Berzola will nudge along the far side. Cincinnati chasing after it, but it's kind of a token chase as Bryson Martin gets it. Outlets to throw it neutral ice. Now ahead to Simeone, who blocked the shot earlier. Simeone not at full speed, but he's back out there as he's a tough guy. Berry clears it out to center where it's taken back by McDonald. Right wing pass to Power. Back to Shearer deep in the Grizzly zone as Utah spreads the ice. Pass to center ice for Penner. Left wing to Simeone, who dumps it in from neutral ice. Simeone will come off the ice. And it looks like he's not 100%, but he's certainly battling out there. Right side, Grizzlies in the offensive zone. Johnny Walker skates down the middle. Centering pass. Shot saved by Warm. As all right with Walker with a good play. Centered it to right. Cincinnati comes back the other way. 3-on-3. Cyclones over in the left side. Caparuso over to Matt Berry, who gets around James Shearer. Shearer pokes it back towards the near side as McLean trying to feed it to the corner. Shearer's the only guy there. The right side, Burzan. I try to feed Berry out in front and gets poked away by a stick. Now Berry gets it back on the left side as he battles with Shearer. Shearer battles. Shearer goes down. No call. Grizzlies come up with a puck. Cameron Wright to neutralize, cross the center. Skates down the middle. Wright getting around a couple Cyclones. Now throw it to the right corner. Wright glides it from one corner to the other for Walker. Johnny wearing number 7. As he skates towards the point, he falls down. No penalty. Fans want to call. Martin crosses center ice, left wing pass to Penner. Penner enters, but the Grizzlies are offside. 8:22 left in the first. Still no score. As we've seen a decent amount of action, as Tyler Penner arguing with the referee that Johnny Walker got tripped up in the Cincinnati zone and that Utah should be on the power play for the second time this afternoon. But we'll skate 5-on-5. Walker wearing the Captain America themed jersey. Both coaches are in their second seasons, and both guys have done a great job. Cincinnati's Jason Payne and Utah's Ryan Kanaswich. Cyclones win the draw. They'll throw it to the right side as they've got a standing point in 20 straight. Lee Lapede will dump it in, as Lapede had 1 goal and 1 assist on Friday night. Puck glides towards the left point. Smerek, who keeps it in, will drive it around the wall. As it looks like the puck playing a little bit slowly here this afternoon. Cron looked to center. It kicks off the Grizzly stick. And Johnny Walker make that Tyler Penner clears it out as it goes to the Cincinnati zone. Dejan Mingo back to the far side as the Cyclones skate from left to right. Across to Passout. He'll bounce off of Pfizer. Back across to Mingo, who's got an A on his sweater. Mingo will tap it off the far glass. It bounces towards the Grizzly zone. As though across to Semick, outlet pass gets picked off at center ice by Passout as it glances off his stick and flies behind the Cincinnati bench. And a fan about 4 rows behind Cincinnati's bench gets a souvenir puck. And luckily the fans are okay. 7:39 left in the first. Draw's going to be at center ice. Utah with 7 shots. Cincinnati's taking 6. Jamison will take the draw against Louis Caparuso. A lot of experience on Cincinnati's top forward line. Caparuso's got plenty of experience. As Cincinnati wins the draw, they skate into the offensive zone, but the Cyclones are offside. Good job by the Grizzlies protecting the blue line. Caparuso's been just about everywhere. He spent some time in the AHL with Binghamton, the Senators. That was about a decade ago. He's also spent some time with Elmira and Reading in this league, and he's been overseas for many years. He was in Italy 2 years ago, and he played his college hockey at the University of Michigan long before Dakota Raby ever did. Grizzlies get to the Cincinnati blue line as the puck glides towards Warm and clears it out to the corner. Dylan Fitz in the corner, throws it back up top for sure, but Cincinnati picks it off, and Andrusiak clears it out to center. Bouncing puck, McDonald gets it. He's back in his own end. He'll glide it to the near side for sure. He gives it out to center ice, poked away by Polino. Polino gets around Martin, and Jamison over there in the area as Jamison gets hit by Vive. Puck taken back by the Rooster across the center ice. Rooster skates down the middle now, veer out to the right circle. He'll take a righty shot, saved by Warm. He holds on, but a good move by the Rooster, who got around a couple skaters and got towards the right side. Had kind of a tough angled shot by the time he fired it, and Beck Warm was able to make the save. But you need guys like Jordan Martell who can create their own shot, as he just got around Mingo, and that creativity by Martell and his ability to score in a variety of different ways is part of why he's had a successful run with the Grizzlies and why he's going to have a pretty good pro career. Draws give me in the right circle of Cincinnati's zone. 6:57 left in the first. We've had quite a few whistles here early on. Draw won by the Grizzlies. Cameron Wright skates towards the far goal line. Now around Cincinnati's net. He'll tap it off the near glass as Semick keeps it in. And so fire it to the corner. As Walker throws it around. Sekos on the right side. Gets around a skater. Now cires it to Cameron Wright. Tapped off his skate. Rolls back towards the end wall. As Sekos trying to break free of Luka Burzan. Sekos now to the left corner. Chips up top for Semick. It goes past him. Matt Berry racing after it. Miner will skate all the way out towards the right side. I bounced off of Berry. Berry with an empty net. He shoots. He scores. Trent Miner gambled, and unfortunately it backfired on him as the former Grizzly Matt Berry gets his 16th of the season. You can't underestimate the speed of Matt Berry. We saw it in a Grizzlies uniform, and we saw it there. As the puck glided towards the near corner, Trent Miner skated over there well out of his crease to try to clear it out. Instead of clearing it out, he bounced it off of Berry, and then Berry was able to get it in the near circle, and by the time he corralled it, he had an empty net and just glided it past the goal line. So I imagine it's going to be an unassisted goal, and it is. Matt Berry, 13:32 into the first, and Trent Miner, that's one he'd like to have back, because he might lose some sleep over that one. As you can see, you can see him making that move, and he'd probably do it again, but may have underestimated the speed of Matt Berry. As Grizzlies in the offensive zone get tripped up, call is going to be made. Slot Penner shot saved by Warm. Smerek touches it up as we get a whistle with 6:10 left in the first. as Brandon Cutler looked like he drew the penalty. And so Cincinnati, for the second time this first period, goes to the Rogers and Russell Legal Solutions holding cell. Lee Lapide gets 2 minutes for tripping. There's 6:10 left. Grizzlies have outshot the Cyclones 9-7. I think if Miner would have known the speed of Matt Berry going from blue line to blue line there, I think Miner would have held back. But just one of those things. He made a split decision and would have worked because Miner did get to the puck, but just couldn't clear it out and instead bounced it off of Berry. 2 minutes for tripping, 13:50 in as Lee Lapide's in the box. Lapide's been one of Cincinnati's most impressive forwards in this series. As Utah's trying to salvage the third and final game of this set. Draws going to be the near circle. Sekos out in front with Walker and Pfizer. Up top is Brandon Cutler and Cameron Wright. So the Grizzlies are going with 5 forwards on this shift. As Utah wins the draw, Cutler on the left side skates towards the corner. Feeds it between the legs of Walker as it glides along the far wing boards and goes out to center ice. Wright gets it over to Sekos. Sekos back in the Grizzlies zone as he's being chased by Patrick Polino. Sekos around Utah's net. Polino hanging on him as Polino drags down Sekos near the Grizzlies bench. Sekos gets up and glides it over to Cutler on the near side. Less than 6 minutes left in the first. Cyclones lead 1-0 as Matt Berry scored unassisted. Cutler skates down the middle. Right wing pass through the legs of Pfizer. I try to chip it out in front. It goes to the left side for Walker. His centering pass bounced off the Cyclone and glides to center ice. Sekos back in his own zone. We'll chip it over to Johnny Walker off the wall. Walker skates towards the far side. Drops it off for Cameron Wright. Now Sekos over on the near side. As Grizzlies working with this power play combination, they're still trying to get used to each other. Sekos throws it to Cutler, skates to neutralize. Cutler crossing center, right wing pass, glanced off the stick of Wright and glides towards the right corner of Cincinnati zone. Wright feeds up top, but the Grizzlies are making a change up there as Martell replaced Cutler. And so Utah makes a line change as Miner gets the puck. He'll give it over to the Rooster. Now Bryson Martin behind the net. About 5 minutes left in the first period. Cyclones lead 1-0. 50 seconds left in the power play. Martin gets to neutralize. Right wing pass to Fitz at center. He'll dump it in, but not quite to the corner as McLean takes it away from the Rooster. Cincinnati glides it towards the near wing boards and clears it out. Binder behind his net gets to Bryson Martin as Cincinnati makes a line change. As Martin to neutralize, across the center, right wing pass connects to the Rooster. He'll drop it off for Fitz. Fitz gets it poked away. Martin over towards Martell. He's behind the net as Martell double teamed. He'll chip it over to the near side. Nobody there. Cincinnati skeets over there. Adam Berg battles with Jamison along the near wall. Now puck rolls back towards to Martell. Martell around the net being shadowed by Sean Allen. 10 seconds left in the power play. Cincinnati flips it high into the air. And it looks like it goes out of play. Draw's going to be in the Cyclone zone. As I think the referee didn't see it. As he had 2 palms in the air. I think they were thinking maybe delay of game as the Cincinnati Cyclones are still in their own zone. Might have gotten redirected by a Grizzlies stick. Doesn't look like delay of game is going to be called. Didn't look like we were really sure because the puck flipped so high into the air what happened. But the draw is going to be in the Cincinnati zone. 4 minutes and 18 seconds are left in the first period. I'm Tyson Whiting. During each of the intermissions, we'll talk with Guy Chiarenza and then Tim Broussard and get their thoughts on things. And Tim Broussard, being a goaltender himself, will get his perspective on Trent Miner skating out there and trying to clear it out from the circle. And that led to Cincinnati's goal with Matt Berry as Miner tried to clear it out, instead bounced off of Berry. As the Grizzlies win the face-off, siren pass shot saved by Warm. As Cincinnati's back at full strength. As McLean will glide along the far boards, it kicks off a throw stick. And bounced off the linesman at the blue line. And so Utah's called for offside. 4:03 left in the first period. Matt Berry gets the Cyclones on the board unassisted. 13:32 in. It's Cincinnati 1 and Utah 0 on the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can. And look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
It's Cincinnati 1, Utah nothing. 4:03 left in the first period. Former Grizzly Matt Berry, who spent 2 different stints in a Grizzlies uniform, and he was an outstanding player. That was back in the Tim Branham era. He played in 38 games for the Grizzlies in the 2015-2016 season. He has 16 goals and 21 assists, and then 10 playoff games in 2016. He had 4 goals and 4 assists. And he was outstanding to start the 2018-2019 season. He's also got some AHL experience with Norfolk, San Diego, and Grand Rapids. As we get a whistle right off the draw, it looks like it was either played with a high stick or we get a high sticking penalty. Unfortunately for the Grizzlies, it's a high sticking penalty. As Christian Simeone gets 2 minutes for high sticking, there's an even 4 minutes left in the first period. So Christian Simeone, who can tell is not 100% as he limps into his seat in the Rogers and Russell Legal Solutions holding cell, as Simeone toughening it up as Utah going with 11 forwards and 6 defensemen this evening. As off the draw, the puck glided towards the Cincinnati bench, and Simeone tried to dump it in and instead fanned on the puck and got Cincinnati up high. 2 minutes for high sticking in even 16 minutes into the first period. Patrick Polino will take the draw for Cincinnati, wins it cleanly. Jalen Smerrick will skate towards his left up top. Now he'll get it to the left side for Caparuso near the corner. Caparuso trying to nudge it up top, and it got poked away as it stays in the corner. As Polino nudges it from one corner to the other, Bryce Martin skates towards the near side, and he'll move it ahead. Jamison center ice, right wing pass to Sekos, 2-on-2 into the Cincinnati zone. Sekos over to Jamison, right side, righty shot goes wide, and Druzak glides towards Jalen Smerrick behind Beck Warm. Cincinnati skating from left to right. About a minute 30 left in their power play. Caparuso skates into the right side, skates towards the corner up top for Smerrick. Smerrick gets pushed by Jamison, gets held up along the near boards. Smerrick thought the puck stayed in the zone, but it went out to neutral ice, says the linesman, and Cincinnati's call for offside. So the Cyclones going to make a line change. Jalen Smerrick was the number 1 star on Friday night. He had 2 goals. As he glides over there, he's played in the AHL. He actually had an NHL entry-level deal with the Arizona Coyotes and spent some time in the AHL with the Tucson Roadrunners. Smerrick also played in 10 games with the San Jose Barracuda earlier this year in the AHL and had 2 assists. Cincinnati wins the draw as Josh Passo will roll it along the boards. Passo had a shorthanded goal in the second period on Wednesday night. Cincinnati centers to Passo, trying to locate it. Lefty shot saved by Minor. Puck towards the left side as goes up top. Berzola skates down the middle. Now he feeds it towards the near goal line. Berg, I try to kick it across. It's picked off by Pfizer. Less than 3 minutes left in the period. Brandon Cutler crosses center ice. That's right, Cutler back after a stint in the AHL with Colorado. He was released from his PTO earlier today. Aaron Tho back in his own zone will clear it out. As Zach Berzola chases after it. Blake Warm, W-A-R-M, will drop it off for Berzola behind the net. Now Berzola will skate towards the far side, left wing across the center. Now he gains the line, skates towards the left circle. Now around the net, Berzola falls down, nudges across to Berry, the goal scorer at the right wing. He'll throw it across to Passo. Back to Berry. He's in the high slot. Back to Passo on the left side. He tried to nudge it ahead. And kicked off of Martin's skate. Puck rolls along the wall. Right side. Berzan gets knocked down by Wright. No call. Now the puck goes back to Berzan, who's back on his feet. He'll get it to Berg. 10 seconds left in the power play as Berg goes down. Berzan will kick it across the left side. Berry one-timer. Saved by Minor. Berzan on the right side up top for Berzola. Now Berry back to Berzan. One-timer, and it's blocked out in front. Grizzlies are back at full strength as Aaron Tho blocked the blast from Berzan. Penner nudges ahead to Simeone fresh out of the box. Simeone joins the play. He gets to the Cincinnati blue line and dumps it to the corner. Simeone chasing after it, but Luca Berzan nudges it back along the near boards to Passo, who gains center ice and dumps it in as Passo got hit by Cameron Wright as he was dumping it in. Grizzlies skate from right to left, 1:36 and counting left in the first. The Cyclones lead 1-0 as James Shearer back behind his net. He'll skate back towards the near corner. Now feed it across to McDonald as Connor will kick it off a Grizzly and Jordan Martell as it gets over to Jamison, who gains center ice, gets spun around near Cincinnati's bench. Now the puck is at the Cincinnati blue line. James Shearer skates in as he gets held up along the right wing, and he gets hit along the boards. Big-time battle along the wall as Utah centers it. Cody Crom will tap it off a Grizzly, sticking it flies into the 6th row of section 113, where a fan makes a nice catch. It's about an aisle seat there, about the 6th row. Bobbled it 2 times, then was able to corral the puck. So a fan's going to come away with a souvenir. First thing you do when you get a puck when it comes to you, or if you get a foul ball in baseball, first thing you do is you immediately look at it. You look at it for maybe the rest of the game. And then you go home and you tell everybody you know, hey, I caught a puck at a hockey game. Certainly one of those fun things. Draws give me the near circle. Penner will take the face off. He wins it as it goes towards Semick. Now Penner feeds it across. Centers the Pfizer. Slot. Righty shot goes wide. Cincinnati behind the net. 1 minute left in the period. Caparuso bobbles it. Puck goes towards the near boards. Taken by Andrusiak, who skates along the near wall to neutralize. Crosses center with speed, and he dumps it in. Miner behind his net cuts it off. Glided along the near boards. Hits off the Cutler. Now it squirts towards the right side. Caparuso centering pass. 5 shot saved by Miner. As 5 got out in front, the centering pass connected, but Miner made the save. 37 seconds left in the period. Though we'll move it ahead. Bersola bats it out about center ice. Now the Grizzlies gather it. Semick will tap it off the far glass as Utah makes a line change. Jalen Smerrick over on the far side, loses it. Pfizer centers it out in front. Shot saved by Warm. Now the Grizzlies tap it across. Backhand shot. And it doesn't cross the goal line somehow. 15 seconds left. Right in the left side. Skates towards his right. Drops it off for Pfizer. Pfizer with a righty shot is blocked by Caparuso. And the momentum goes all the way out to center ice. 5 seconds left. McDonald over to Pfizer. He'll chip it over to Zach Sekos. Passes wide of the mark. And the time runs out in the first period. Boy, the Grizzlies had a great look there as they had Warm off balance. Somehow, some way, the puck didn't cross the goal line. There's a lot of traffic out in front, but it stays a 1-0 game as we head to the first intermission. Both teams go to the locker room. Matt Barry scored unassisted, 13:32 in, and that's the only goal in the contest. Utah with 10 shots. Cincinnati took 9. When we come back, we'll talk with Guy Chiarenza and get his thoughts on what he saw in the first 20 minutes of play. We'll also talk with Tim Broussard and get his thoughts on things as well. It's the final game of the series and final game of the season meeting between the Grizzlies and Cyclones. Cincinnati won the first 2 games of this set, and they lead 1-0 after 1 period. We'll talk with Guy on the other side on the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
When you pay with the Nitro card at Maverick, you always save 10 cents or more on fuel every gallon, every day. And you could save a whole lot more thanks to Nitro Best Price. Pick up a Nitro card and upgrade your Adventure Club account today.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
Maverick's new bean-to-cup machines always deliver a freshly ground cup of coffee on demand, so you can enjoy any of our premium roasts at their best, day or night, hot or iced. Enjoy a fresh cup today.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can, and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
Welcome back to the Grizzlies Hockey Network, presented by Rio Tinto Kennegawa. It's first intermission. Cyclones lead 1-0. I'm Guy Chiarenza alongside Tyson Whiting. An evenly played first period, but Trent Miner tried to gamble, and he lost as it's Matt Barry, 13:32 into the first period, getting the only goal so far unassisted. He gets his 16th of the year. It's pretty even, as I mentioned. Shots are 10-9 in favor of the Grizzlies. Grizzlies are 0 for 2 on the power play. Cincinnati's 0 for 1. Cameron Wright leads all Grizzlies in shots with 3. Trent Miner saved 8 of 9. Scoring chances, again, even 6 apiece. Although in the faceoff circle, Utah's dominating 15-7. They've doubled up and then some on the Cincinnati Cyclones. And so hits are 4-3 in favor of Utah. Giveaways 5-3. 5 for the Grizzlies, 3 for the Cyclones. But it seemed like on Friday night, the ice was kind of tilted in the first period, and Cincinnati really had that edge offensively. Today, not so much. In today's Sunday showdown, it's pretty even playing field.
It seems like the ice is playing a little bit slower this afternoon, almost like it's a little bit choppy and not nearly as smooth. Really, the difference in the game is that that first period goal by Matt Berry. And really, for a goaltender, you see that puck gliding over there. You see a guy neutral ice, and you think, can I get there in time? Well, Miner did get there in time, even though I think he might have underestimated the speed of Matt Berry. We saw it because he was in a Grizzlies uniform, and we even saw it when he was with Toledo last year in the Western Conference Finals. Miner did get there before Berry did. Problem is Miner, in trying to clear it out, bounced it off of Berry. And unfortunately, the puck didn't bounce off him towards the inboards where Miner can make an attempt to get back in net. It just kind of trickled a little bit towards the right circle. And he mentioned the ice surface playing a little bit slow. Berry skated over there, and by the time he got the puck, unfortunately, he had about an empty net and just put it away for his 16th of the year. And it's one of those, Berry's got that sort of speed. And I think it surprises people at times. I haven't seen a lot of Matt Berry, but he just kind of burst in. He's on the wrong end of 30 years old, but, he can still really move around. Otherwise, it was a very evenly played first period. Both teams looked good on the penalty kill. I think that for the Grizzlies, though, working that 5-forward unit out there, looked like the Grizzlies really had more of a challenge to get into the offensive zone than you would like. One other observation, Christian Simeone, who blocked a shot there in the first period, he gutted it out the final, for the rest of the first period, and he put together a productive 20 minutes of play despite not being at 100%.
Yeah, I thought Christian Simeone was noticeable in the first period. He was moving with speed, and that's, you're right, surprising considering he did take a bit of a blast up around the skate area, and he was wincing and went to the bench, but was able to come back in this game, and really he's been producing for the Grizzlies so far in this one. I did like the Grizzlies' overall game. The power play, though, it's just tough because you got the most talented players on the ice for Utah out there. Get that 5-forward unit. I don't think it's working for the Grizzlies. I think just they're having trouble not only entering the zone, but they're also having trouble keeping the puck in the zone. So I think they might be better off just taking a guy off of the power play that's a forward and putting in a defenseman like James Shearer. I mean, we see Shearer and Martin on the second unit. They got 2 defensemen on the second unit, none on the first one. I think you maybe just go 1-1, keep Martin on the second unit, and put Shearer as that blue line presence, a guy that knows how to hold the puck at the blue line on the first power play. And I think if the Grizzlies do that, they might see a little bit more production on the power play. But right now, it's just not working for them.
Some close calls with that Johnny Walker, Cameron Wright, and Zach Secco's forward line. And the thing is, they can just get that centering pass out in front, which it looked like there was a few attempts to that. They can just get that one in, like they did there in the final minute of the third period. And somehow, some way, the puck didn't cross the goal line. It just looked like Utah had chances there, but stayed a 1-0 game.
Yeah, I mean, the Grizzlies just couldn't buy a goal there. I mean, really great play by Cincinnati. And I think one thing that Cincinnati does really well on defense is they're really good at using an active stick. And I look at Jalen Smerrick as a guy that is just so good at getting his stick out in front of plays and disrupting those cross-crease passes. Anything that goes through the slot, he's done a really good job of putting a stick on it. Berzola also comes to mind when you're talking about the Cincinnati defense. And so for the Grizzlies, you just got to keep hammering away at it. Maybe just move the puck around the perimeter a little bit more and then try to get them on their heels and then move the puck into the slot. I think there's been times where the Grizzlies try to dump the puck in and then immediately from the corner try and center it. That's not going to work against the Cincinnati team. They've done a good job of getting sticks on pucks.
That's what the Grizzlies need to do in the next 20 minutes to get control of this game.
Well, I really like the way that the Grizzlies played for the first 20 minutes here. I think that they just continue to push hard on the forecheck and try and establish their game here against Cincinnati. I think that they can start getting the puck in the net. I think I'd like to see them take a little bit more shots, have a little bit more of an offensive presence, and fix up that power play.
Thanks for the time. We'll talk to you second intermission.
Thank you, Tyson.
That's Guy Chiarenza. When we come back, we'll talk with Tim Broussard, our director of Grizzlies Insiders, and get his thoughts on what he has seen. That's coming up in 1 minute. Right now, Cincinnati leads 1-0 after 20 minutes of play on the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
Welcome back to Grizzlies Hockey. I'm Tyson Whiting here with Tim Broussard, our director of Grizzlies Insiders. Tim, what'd you notice in the first 20 minutes of play?
Well, how about that clunky start? Nothing more clunkier than me trying to, sit down in the seat with all the wires other than that first, 2.5, 4 minute start that we had. I think we had like 6 whistles in just that short amount of time. Unfortunately, I think that kind of plays into the way that Cincinnati wants to play the game, just kind of keep everything at bay and push everything to the outside and keep it clunky.
Seems like the ice was a little bit slower here today.
Yeah, you mentioned that with Guy, and I agree. Things just aren't as fluid, and definitely the passing. One of my notes on here is that our passing seemed to be there, but us receiving the pass and puck handling afterwards, we're horrible at that. In the neutral zone, given turnover one after the other, we're just no vibe, no flow, and it's all self-inflicted.
You remember how aggressive the Grizzlies were shorthanded, leading the league in shorthanded goals. Well, this season it's Cincinnati that leads the league in shorthanded goals. And it's a very similar approach to what the Grizzlies had last year.
Yeah, that's a lot of team faith they have in there. You're shorthanded, and you're going to say, okay, I'll send a forward out and to be almost like that man-to-man. How do you do that in a box? Well, they're skating everywhere, and they don't have a problem sending them away from the play on a 50-50 puck, and the off chance that Cincinnati picks it up, and their guy's gone to the races, and we'll talk about Matt Berry here in a second, but I am seriously impressed with how aggressive they can be and not having to pay the price. So that means that they're also being aware of their defensive responsibility on the back end.
That's as you had mentioned last year, where it's like you trust your guy to win a one-on-one battle, and you kind of cherry picked out the center ice, hoping he wins that battle. That battle sells the puck to you, and before you know it, you got a breakaway if they're able to win that.
Yeah, if you have that type of team trust between your forwards and your D, and you're like, you know what, we got this. We're going to win the face-off. Not only that, but you're going to take off and go from there. You're going to leave the zone before it's obvious who has the puck. That means you're going to get behind the defense, and that's how that's how we generated our opportunities last year, and that's what Cincinnati's doing this year.
You as a goalie know about that play. Puck glides towards your circle. You've got a guy chasing after you from neutral ice. You have that split-second decision. Do I go out and play the puck, or do I stay back? Miner went out and played it. He got the puck there before Barry tried to clear it out, and instead of clearing it, he bounced it off of Barry, and that led to Cincinnati's goal.
The first thing you want to see is commitment. Don't get stuck halfway like, oh, that was a good idea. Okay, hold on, not so much. So once you make that commitment, that split-second decision, like you said, to leave the crease, you have to go out and play it. At that point, he was, he got there first. He just didn't see Matt Barry's angle as he was coming in. If you look at the blade of the goalie stick as he opened it, he didn't open it as much as he wanted because it looked like he was going to try to play it off the board. Instead, it goes into Matt Barry's body, and Matt Barry just kind of picked it up and backhanded it into the net.
He possibly underestimated Barry's speed. Probably thought because by the time Miner got it, the angle he had to try to get it around Matt Barry wasn't a good one.
That's exactly it. He was anticipating having more room to throw it out to the board and bounce off. That didn't happen. Matt Barry had already closed off that angle.
So many pucks bouncing off the sticks there in the first 20 minutes, it seemed like, on both teams.
Yeah, and it goes back to that clunky ice or the choppy ice, sticks, body parts. Christian Simeone takes one off the body, and it just seems like that flow, that vibe is just not there right now between the passing and the offensive scheme and the system that you want to see get into. Guy mentioned it on the, gain the blue line and do something with it. Well, but that's not happening right now.
And on the power play, it just seems to be a work in progress with new guys mixed in there, getting Cutler back earlier today. And it just seems like it's a bit of a challenge to get into the offensive zone. It seems like once we get there, we can work the puck around and kind of, it kind of looks like it flows a little bit there, but it seemed like a bit of a challenge to get the puck in the offensive zone.
Right, and I attribute that to how aggressive Cincinnati is playing. I mean, it's almost like they're playing a man-on-man, and they're still able to get into the passing lanes. So, Like you said, if we can get into the zone and set up and get into our system, we have a little bit of continuity there. Outside of that, if anything trying to get set up and watch the guys in the cutters come in there, we're happy to keep the puck on our stick for 2-3 seconds while we're trying to make a decision while somebody's moving.
What about the effort in the first 20 minutes of play? Now, it's a little bit different than other Sunday games where we've seen third game in 4 days or third game in 3 days. It's the third game in 5 days. Both teams should be about as fresh as you can be for a Sunday afternoon game.
Yeah, you're not going to 3-3. You've got that break in between. You had yesterday off. You don't even get that during playoff hockey. We saw that, just ask Rapid City last year.
5 games in 6 days with a 10-hour bus ride in between.
Yeah, exactly. So, you can't complain and say, we're tired. We just played 2 games. And no, that's not good enough. You're going to have to come up with a better effort. And what we mean by that, and you can quantify it, it's the 50-50 pucks.
Yeah.
You start watching, how we're going into the corners, trying to dig out these pucks and get it to another Grizzlies guy versus, dumping it out in front to, Cincinnati. That's what we're going to have to do, here if we're going to get better in the second.
So what do you need to do in the next 20 minutes to get control of the game?
Oh, boy, that's a good question.
I almost had one there at the end.
Cameron Wright was in the picture I've got on it. He is just missing it by that much. Literally like 2 inches. It just went wide. And I thought he was actually going to put it off the backside of Warm and then into the net. But Warm did this kind of, crazy kind of leap, twist, turn, and he still avoided it. But, you're going to have to go back to like what Guy said earlier, the depth scoring for the role player guys. Somebody's going to have to step up. You're going to have to get better at receiving your passes and doing something with it in the neutral zone and not giving up those opportunities and let the system work. Kanasowitz has a system. It's very defined. You can watch it working and believe in the system and make it work. You got a lot of moving pieces. You got some new guys out there, but you've got to believe in that system and make it work.
Thanks for the time. We'll talk to you second intermission.
Thanks, Tyson.
That's Tim Broussard. When we come back, we'll have second period action as Cincinnati leads 1-0 on the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
Welcome back to Utah Grizzlies Hockey. I'm Tyson Whiting. Cincinnati is on the ice. We're ready for the second period. Grizzlies going to the ice here shortly. Cincinnati in a black jersey with red numbers, red lettering in the back, black and red in the front. It's kind of a night look as there's no white mixed into the jersey. It's just black with a bit of red mixed in. Grizzlies in their Captain America jerseys. Very tough to describe. Go to UtahGrizzlies.com or go to the Grizzlies social media channels to find out what that thing looks like. But it is an interesting look. It's actually a pretty good look. Very sharp Captain America themed jersey. In fact, you can bid on them right now on the Dash Auction app. You can bid on the game-worn jerseys. It's the second straight game the Grizzlies have worn a specialty jersey. It's a big game in the Mountain Division standings as Utah right now is tied for fifth with Rapid City in the Mountain Division. First intermission over at Memorial Coliseum. Fort Wayne leads Rapid City 2-1. So the Grizzlies are rooting for Fort Wayne in that game. Alex Aliardi scored 14-21 in, and then Fort Wayne scored 2 goals, a minute 30 apart. Kyle and Alvaro with the Fort Wayne goals. Cincinnati faces Fort Wayne often, but the Grizzlies haven't seen Fort Wayne since the end of the 2020-21 season. In another Mountain Division battle, 13 minutes left in the second period. Kansas City leads Tulsa 2-0. Tulsa won 4-3 at Kansas City on Saturday. The scene shifted over to BOK Center for this afternoon's game. And about halfway through the second period, Kansas City leads 2-0 as Fogate and Josh Lamon with the Kansas City goals. The Wichita Thunder are off. Wichita got a 4-2 victory over Iowa. Wichita is in second place with 66 standings points, and they take on the Grizzlies for a 3-game series later this week. Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. Face off all 3 nights will be at 7 o'clock. Don't forget that Wednesday is a Bud Light College night with discounted student tickets. Friday is an AFCU Friday where tickets start just $8 and you pay using your AFCU debit or credit card at the Maverick Center box office, as it should be a lot of fun. So first period stats, both teams had 6 scoring chances in the first period. Didn't seem like the Grizzlies dominated the faceoff circle at 15-7, but according to the off-ice officials, they did. Utah had 5 giveaways. Cincinnati had 3. Puck is dropped at center ice. Grizzlies win the draw. We're skating 5-on-5 as the Grizzlies skate from our left to our right as we see it from high top, section 114. Pass head to Pfizer's picked off as Caparuso skates towards left circle. Drops out for Andrusiak. Will take a lefty shot. Saved by Minor. Rebound goes to Pfizer as he'll chase after it in the Cincinnati zone. Pfizer gets it. He chips it out in front as it was to the back end of Cutler, who couldn't do anything with it. He tried to glide it across, and Cincinnati picks it off. Andrusiak to the far side, throws it to Caparuso, tapped off his stick, 2-on-2. Caparuso skates down the middle, feeds a right wing pass to Andrusiak, centers it over to Vive out in front. But he couldn't connect on it as he was cutting towards the net. Great play by Cincinnati, great idea as Utah comes back the other way. Cutler skates towards the left circle. He gets around Sean Allen. Cutler feeds to the right side. Pfizer, one-timer, kick saved by Beck Warm. Puck goes to Jalen Smerrick, who gains center ice. Left wing pass is bounced off the near boards. Gathered by Lapide, who dumps it in as it rolls around the net. Cody Cron feeds to the left side. They tried to chip it to Lapide out in front. Lapide couldn't do anything with it as Sekos was in the area. Right glides over to Walker at center ice. Walker behind the back pass to Martin at center ice, who dumps it in from center. As the puck goes towards the near side, Walker glides it towards the slot. It's taken away by Allen. We'll tap it off the far board. Sekos over the point trying to locate it. Cincinnati pokes it away. Sekos the back check, rolls it towards the near boards as Pouncey moves it head to right. Right tries to get it back towards Pouncey. It rolls to Bryce Martin near the Cincinnati zone as Martin glides it across to Pouncey as we get a whistle and we get a fight towards center ice as Cody Cron pushes Johnny Walker way away from the puck. We just saw the gloves drop and the whistle blow. Cody Cron and Johnny Walker. It looked like Walker didn't want the fight, and Cron looked like he wanted it. So I imagine because of that, Walker looks towards the bench and is like, I didn't do anything. It was far away from where the puck was, so we didn't quite get a look at it. But it looks like Cron's going to get a penalty. I don't think Wright is. Cron at center ice just attacked Johnny Walker. That's what it was. Walker was looking at the puck, and Cron just attacked him. Took his gloves off and just kind of hugged him about, neck high, dragged down Walker. Something must have happened before that to agitate Cron. Otherwise, that's one of those where you don't quite understand it. As Walker looked like he was at center ice just looking at the puck, which I believe was in the Grizzlies zone. Walker's like kind of reading his lips. He's not praying, but he is saying the guy looked like he jumped me. Matt Berry's going to the box representing Cody Cron. 2 minutes. 2 minutes for roughing on Cody Cron, and Utah's going to get a power play with 18:25 left in the second. 2 minutes for delay of game and a 10-minute misconduct. Berry's serving the delay of game, and he'll come out of the box in 2 minutes. Utah will win the face-off as Sekos gets it in the high slot. He'll feed it to the right side for Cameron Wright. Now across to Brandon Cutler. He skates towards the left circle. Cutler stops, skates back towards the point, feeds it out to Sekos on the right side. Sekos over to Cutler, skates towards the left circle. They get lefty shot, he scores! Brandon Cutler, welcome back to Utah, as he is the Optum first goal of the game score. He gets his 11th of the year. It's a power play tally as Cutler high-fives everybody else at center ice. Now Cutler high-fives everybody on the Grizzlies bench as he scored from the left circle as he just fired it past Cincinnati. Now Zach Brazola having some words for Cutler as Cutler with a pretty good goal celebration. Sean Allen is grabbing Cameron Wright by the jersey. And now Aaron Tho's got some words for a Cincinnati skater. Cincinnati did not like the goal celebration that Brandon Cutler put on after Utah's goal. Johnny Walker tried to redirect it. As Sean Allen having some words for the Grizzlies bench. Allen yelling at Wright with the linesman between them near the bench area. Cutler was released from his AHL PTO with Colorado earlier today. Zach Sekos will get an assist. It will be his 12th of the season. And Cameron Wright gets his 28th assist of the campaign. Utah wins the draw. We're tied at 1 as Cutler gets a power play goal out to center ice. Jamison right side will skate towards the circle, take a righty shot, safe. Rebound shot, a score! The Rooster, Jordan Martell, gets his 11th of the year. And just like that, it's a 2-1 game. Grizzlies scored goals 11 seconds apart. Shot was taken from the right side. I believe it was Jamison. Bounced off of Blake Warm. And Jordan Martell skating down the middle, got the rebound and put it away. This crowd is going nuts here at Maverick Center as Utah scores 2 goals in 11 seconds. As Jamison took the shot, Warm had to bounce off his body, and then Martell just skated in, got the rebound, and deposited it in the back of the net. As it's 2-1 Grizzlies. Puck on the left side. Lefty shot, saved by Warm. As that shot was taken, I believe, by Jacob Semick from the left point as the Grizzlies won the faceoff, and just like that, got themselves another scoring chance as Utah has Cincinnati on their heels big time here. So Cutler scored 1:55 into the second, and 2:06 in. 11 seconds later, the Rooster gets his 11th of the year with Keaton Jamison getting his 17th assist of the season. Draws going to be in the far circle. Jamison will take the drives out there with Fitz and the Rooster, Jordan Martell. Up top is Semick and Tho. As Grizzlies lose the draw, as Jalen Smerrick will skate around the net. He gets it poked away by Jamison. As Cincinnati now gathers at 3-on-2. Cyclones gain to the offensive zone. Lapide over to Passout. Left side shot, and it's blocked. As Passout trying to locate the puck. Fitz will fire it towards the corner. Mingo looks to start to Passout. Passes wide. As Martell gains center ice, right side, fires a shot. Kick saved by Cincinnati's Beck Warm. As Jamison gets hit in the corner. Cincinnati gets to Smerrick on the far side. As there's a tanglement over in the Cincinnati zone. As the Cyclones move it ahead. As Berg, backhand shot saved by Minor. As play is still going on, we got a borderline fight over in the Cincinnati zone on the far side as Dylan Fitz is tangled up with Lee Lapide. Now Fitz throws a punch and Lapide goes down. The 2 linesmen step in. Both guys were pretty much in a bear hug in the far side for about 10 seconds. Fool me once, shame on me. I wasn't going to not follow the puck on the other side as the shot was taken by Adam Berg. But Fitz is going to go to the box, and so is Lee Lapide. Lapide joins Cody Cron as Cron serving a 10-minute misconduct. And just like Wednesday, when there was an entanglement on one side, Cincinnati went down and scored on Wednesday. Cincinnati had a chance, and the referee let them play on. And Berg took the shot, but Minor made the save on a backhand shot. And Lapide and Fitz just kind of held each other for a bit, and then Fitz got an uppercut. Then he got a roundhouse in. Lapide went down, and the linesman quickly stepped in. Looks like Johnny Walker steps into the penalty box, but he steps in just to high-five Dylan Fitz, and Walker then points to the penalty box at the other guy, at Lee Lapide. Boy, Walker's a lot of fun out there. Now Walker's going to skate towards center ice and have some words with Cincinnati's Sean Allen. Allen sporting a mustache, and he's saying some things that we can't repeat. That Walker, Allen sporting a beard. Now Fitz having a conversation with Cody Cron. He's not really having a conversation with Lee Lapide. 17:04 left in the second period. Grizzlies scored 2 goals, 11 seconds apart. Brandon Cutler 1:55 in, and Sekos and Wright got the assist there. And then 11 seconds later, Jamison took a shot from the right side that bounced off of Beck Warm. And Jordan Martell skated in, got the rebound, and put it away as the Rooster got his 11th of the year. Jalen Smerrick continues the conversation as everybody's just kind of mingling. The referee, I think, is praying that both teams can get it under control and not have to call a bunch of penalties as he did in the second period on Friday. Justin Vive and Connor McDonald, the two captains, talk things over. Looks like another Grizzlies going to the box representing Dylan Fitz, and it's Jordan Martell, the Rooster. So we'll see what comes out of the penalties. Whether Fitz gets an extra 2 minutes and Cincinnati would get a power play out of it. It's the Grizzlies 2 and the Cyclones 1. Last of a 3-game series. Utah trying to salvage a third game. And the Grizzlies are trying to end Cincinnati's long streak of a standing point. Cincinnati's got an 8-game winning streak, and they've got a standing point in 20 straight. Cincinnati's road record this season is 22-5-3-1. And it seems like a subtopic all week we've been talking about is who's better, Cincinnati or Idaho, two teams that the Grizzlies have seen. We saw Idaho a lot in the regular season, in fact, 15 times in the first half. And we're looking at Cincinnati here this weekend, and I think they're pretty similar teams. I think if Idaho and Cincinnati played in a 7-game series, I think the series would go the full 7. So it looks like it's going to be a Cincinnati power play as Dylan Fitz is in the box. They're not going to call it a fighting major, I think, with Cody Caron. Fitz got a double minor for roughing. 2 minutes for delay of game and a 10-minute misconduct. That's the second delay of game we've seen, which is kind of odd. Lee Lapede gets 2 minutes for unsportsmanlike conduct, but Fitz got a 2, and a 10. So he's in the box, 4-minute power play for Cincinnati. Cyclones win the faceoff. Caparuso over to the left side, chips it around the net. Now the puck squirts out to center ice as the puck on its side. Zach Sekos gets taken away by Smerrick as Smerrick won the foot race. Smerrick's got good size at 6 feet, 190 pounds. He also has outstanding speed. Caparuso near center ice gets back checked by Jamison, who gets the puck. Jamison back in his own end, feeds over to McDonald, who clears it out. Beck Warm behind his net will play it as Cincinnati trails 2-1. Smerrick will feed it over to the left side for Polino as Polino glides into the Grizzly zone, stops at the point. Now he veers off to the corner. He gets pushed by Cameron Wright. Smerrick left point, lefty shot. Glove saved by Miner. And the Grizzlies netminder holds on with 16-19 left in the second. 3 minutes, 15 seconds left on Dylan Fitz's penalty. But Fitz will not come out of the box in 3 minutes, 15 seconds as he's also serving a 10-minute misconduct. Draw's going to be in the near circle. Penner will take it against Louis Caparuso. As Taryn Pfizer will exit. Linesman pleading Cameron Wright and Justin Vive. As Wright and Vive are having some words. Andrew Collins, the linesman, asked Cameron Wright to back up just a little bit towards the Grizzlies net. Draw one by the Grizzlies as Bryce Martin wraps it around the boards. And Cincinnati couldn't keep it in as it goes all the way out towards Beck Warm. Now Jalen Smerrick on the near side will nudge it ahead to Caparuso. Caparuso gets back checked by Cameron Wright. Now rolls back to Smerrick. Cameron Wright gets it. Oh, Smerrick took it away as Wright was over near the crease. Wright just drags down Smerrick on a big-time hit. Smerrick gets back to his feet. Smerrick moves it ahead over to Justin Vive, who's got a breakaway. Got behind the Grizzlies defense. Vive backhand shot and it goes wide. As the Grizzlies lost track of Justin Vive hanging out the Utah blue line. Puck goes deep in the Cincinnati zone as Cameron Wright and Jalen Smerrick exchange blows. Wright goes off the ice slowly as I think Smerrick got him. Cameron Wright getting looked at by Colin Lee, the Grizzlies trainer, as Polino skates in. Right circle shot blocked by Martin. Bryce Martin slash Polino. That's going to be called all day. Delayed penalty as Utah touched it up. Boy, Bryce Martin slash Patrick Polino big time in the right circle. And Polino slow to get back to his feet. Polino tells Bryce Martin, you're not going to the penalty box. That, unfortunately, if the referee wanted to, probably can call more than 2 minutes on Martin, as that was a pretty hard slash on Patrick Polino delivered by Bryce Martin. The linesman, Craig Peterson, I think, is telling Marc-Olivier Phaneuf that. Martin's just going to get 2 minutes for slashing, though. Time of penalty, 4:34 in. So it's going to be a 5-on-3 power play for Cincinnati for 2 minutes. As Dylan Fitz still has 2 minutes and 22 seconds left in his penalty. As Polino is skating towards the right side, Martin just slashed him. And now they're talking it over to see if Martin's going to get 2 minutes or if he's going to get more than that. And Martin's going to have some words for the linesman because the linesman looks like he's talking the referee into giving Martin more than just 2 minutes. Right now it's just a 2-minute penalty as Martin joins Martell and Fitz in the penalty box. There are 2 Cyclones in the box right now in Lee Lapide and Cody Caron. So Cincinnati already only dressing 15, and they're only dressing 15 for the week. I think they claimed a guy off waivers that will play in their next game. But Cincinnati doesn't have too many extra guys on their roster. Josh Burnside played in all 61 games coming into this series, but Burnside suffered an injury. He's a defenseman for Cincinnati, and he's been out all series. And Lincoln Griffin, who's played in 48 games in this league this year, he's out of the lineup for Cincinnati as well. As the Cyclones, if everybody's healthy, they can play the full 17, but they're without 2 guys, and they're down to just 15 skaters all series. So we're continuing to have a conversation. The referee is telling Bryson Martin to go to the locker room, I think. Martin can't believe it, though. Martin now stands up as Martin's going to have some words from Marc-Olivier Phaneuf. As Phaneuf has had an interesting series, looks like James Shearer is going to skate towards the penalty box. Martin is headed to the locker room. Martin can't believe it as he throws his stick as he's walking towards the dressing room. Ryan Kanaswich, Grizzlies coach, looking on. I think Sid Kanaswich is in attendance here for this afternoon's game. Normally Sid would be tuned in to Flow Sports. I don't know, Sid a Flow Sports guy, or does he watch the game on YouTube? I imagine he's a Flow Sports guy. So we've got a pretty good Flow Sports audience here this afternoon. They're continuing to talk things over. The referee and one of the linesmen, Andrew Collins. Craig Peterson is between the bench areas just to making sure that both teams keep the peace. Martin can't believe it. Bryson Martin got a 5-minute major. Unfortunately, from what I saw live on the ice, I was concerned when I saw the penalty that it'd be more than 2 minutes. I think the referee was going to give him just 2 minutes, and then it looked like the linesman said, I saw something a little bit extra. And with that, Martin might have gotten a game misconduct. It looks like Martin, according to the paper I got a 5-minute slashing major and a game misconduct. So Bryson Martin's going to get an early shower, 4:34 into the second. So Grizzlies are going to be down to 5 defensemen the rest of the way. And with that major, this is a critical sequence in the game because Cincinnati is going to have a 5-on-3 power play for 2:22 as Dylan Fitz got a double minor. You got a 2, and a 10. And then obviously with a major, you can score as many times as possible. So this is a critical sequence for both teams. Can the Grizzlies keep it a 2-1 game as Utah has a 2-1 lead? Or can Cincinnati get not just one goal there on the 5-on-3? As obviously Cincinnati with a lot of experienced guys, they can really work the puck around just like Allen does with their top forward line. And then once you get 5-on-4 power play like that, I mean, especially if they can score in the first 22 seconds of this, because it'd just be the first half of the double minor. That means that you keep on the power play 5-on-3. If Cincinnati doesn't score in the next 22 seconds, then it can at least be, you'd still be 5-on-3, but you get a guy back out of the penalty box after a Cincinnati goal and would make it a 5-on-4. Now Dylan Fitz is going to skate out of the penalty box, and so is James Shearer. As at some point we'd like to play some hockey. Looks like Dylan Fitz is going to get looked over by the trainer, Colin Lee. So 5-on-3 power play for Cincinnati. 2:22 is left. 22 seconds left in the 5-on-3. Or at least in the first half of Dylan Fitz's double minor. It would be a 5-on-3 even after 22 seconds elapse. But then it'd just be the second half of Dylan Fitz's double minor. I think all you hope for is consistency, really, when it comes to officiating. We don't want to be the broadcast that's always harping on it, but we do just want consistency. Chris Hagan's announcing the Bryson Martin penalty, as Bryson Martin got a 5-minute slashing major and a game misconduct. And unfortunately, from what I saw live, that does seem like a pretty good call, though. But it didn't look like it was the referee that made it. It looked like the linesmen were talking him into it. And now it looks like we got another player that's being asked to go to the dressing room. Dylan Fitz was getting worked on. Fitz is going to head to the penalty box. It looked like Colin Lee, the Grizzlies trainer, was working on him. So a 5-on-3 power play for Cincinnati is finally, we're going to get back to playing hockey. 15:26 left in the second. Utah leads 2-1. Grizzlies have outshot the Cyclones 16-11. Cyclones win the draw. Smerek will throw it to the right side. Now back to Smerek. He'll feed it to the right side. Now back to Smerek. He's in the high slot. He'll feed it to the right side. Now back to Smerek. Smerek over to the left side. Polino back to Smerek. Smerek will fire towards the net, and it goes wide. He was looking for Caparuso to redirect it. Andrusiak to the right side. Switches places with Smerek. Now to the near goal line. Polino over to Andrusiak, but he couldn't reach it. I think Zach Secco's got a piece of it. Now we're to the second half of the double minor for Dylan Fitz. Andrusiak gains the offensive line, throws to Caparuso, glides towards the far corner. Caparuso up top for Smerek as Cincinnati skis from right to left in the second period. Polino over in the left side, back to Smerek. He's now on the left. Now across to Andrusiak, back to Smerek. Smerek over to Andrusiak. One-timer, saved by Minor. Rebound, Cincinnati skates around the net, centering pass, shot by Vive, goes wide. Puck goes to the near side as McDonald's able to clear it out. Good job by Connor McDonald. 1:20 left in the 5-on-3. And remember, the Bryson Martin penalty is a major as Cincinnati crosses center ice. Polino into the offensive zone near side. As he skates towards the near goal line, tries to chip it across to Vive. Vive loses it. Grizzlies gather it, and Keaton Jamison clears it out. Jamison will come off. Good effort by the Grizzlies, who lead 2-1 about 6 minutes into the second period. 1 minute left in the Dylan Fitz double minor. As Matt Berry crosses center ice, he's got outstanding speed. He skates towards the left circle. He gets it poked away. Berry dangerously hit by Aaron Tho. Luckily, Berry got back to his feet. As Cincinnati over to the left side, Zach Berzola hanging out in the right wing. Berzola skates towards his left. He'll chip it across to Mingo. Now to the right side. As Berzan up top for Mingo. Mingo with a righty shot, saved by Minor. Rebound goes all the way out towards the blue line and cut off in the left point by Berzola. He'll skate towards his right. He'll take a righty shot, and he scores. Zach Berzola gets his 5th of the year as Cincinnati broadcaster Andrew Mossbrooks is having a good time over on the other side of press row as Zach Berzola's tied it up with 13:32 left in the second. Berzola had 1 goal and 1 assist on Wednesday night as Berzola near the Bud Light spot on the ice just fired a righty wrist shot that got past Trent Minor. So Martell's out of the box. He was representing Fitzin. Now Jared Power will enter the box. He'll represent Bryson Martin. There's 3:06 left in a major power play as we're tied at 2. Drop won by Cincinnati. They skate from right to left. They're on a major power play. As Passo across to Berzan. A glance off his skate. Berzan gets it back at the Utah blue line and dumps it to the corner. Matt Berry collides with a Grizzly. A Grizzly goes flying. Luckily, Taryn Pfizer got back up. As towards the far corner, Passo gets it taken away. Grizzlies cleared out the center as it glanced off of Berzola's stick as he gets the puck on its side and gathers it as he skates around Cincinnati's net. Now Dejan Mingo back towards the near side about 7 minutes into the second period. As the Cyclones in their own zone, Mingo dancing around the corner being shouted by Pfizer as they'll get it across. As Cincinnati get to Zach Berzola, who skates down the middle. Right now it's listed as unassisted. They might add some later. Berzan crosses center ice, dumps in, trying to get around McDonald. McDonald over towards Cameron Wright, who clears it out. McDonald was a teammate of Luca Berzan's last year. As Beck Warm throws to the far side. Matt Berry deep in the Cyclone zone over to Smerek, who overskates it. Berzola gathers it. As Smerek collided with a Grizzly and Cameron Wright. Cincinnati skates in. Pass out to the left side. Nudges back up top for Berry. Berry at the left circle gets spun around. Now Berzola will lose the puck as Cameron Wright back check there. Pass ahead to Penner, glanced off his stick. Rolls back Berzola now in his own zone. Gets it from Smerek. Now back to Smerek. Moves ahead to Berry across the center ice. Wright hits Smerek as Berry feeds it to the right side. Caparuso around the net. Caparuso leads Cincinnati in assists. He'll nudge it up top for Smerek. Now to the right side. Andrusiak will take a lefty shot that goes wide. Puck glides along the near boards. Caparuso keeps it in. Now Smerek in the high slot to the right side. Andrusiak one-timer and it goes wide. Smerek on the left side gets it. 1:25 left in the major power play. We're tied at 2. Andrusiak across to Caparuso. Tapped off his stick. No, Caparuso gets it as he gets around Cameron Wright. Feeds up top for Smerek. Smerek will glide the puck towards his right for Andrusiak. I tried to feed it out in front. Now the puck bounces off the end boards. Cameron Wright will sell it and clear it out. Great effort by Cameron Wright in that shift as he'll come off. Grizzlies will get 4 new skaters on the ice. 1 minute left in the major power play. Smerek down low for Polino across the center ice in the left wing. Polino over to Caparuso, feeds it across. Utah picks it off and clears it out. Good job by Jacob Semick. Zach Berzola chases after it. He gets the puck at the Cincinnati goal line. Now he skates around Beck Warm as both teams spread the ice. 40 seconds left in the major power plays. Berzola will glide towards his right. Now pass to the left side. Polino moves it ahead to Caparuso, enters the zone. Back to Polino on the left side. Polino near goal line. Shot saved by Minor. Rebound. Puck out in front. And Trent will freeze it and hold on. As he covers up. 10:54 left in the second. Good creative play by Patrick Polino, who's over to the near side, getting the puck towards the net. Trent Minor gets some water. Both teams have taken 16 shots. We're tied at 2. 28 seconds left in the major power play. At that point, Jared Power will come out of the box representing Bryson Martin, who got a 5-minute slashing major and a game misconduct. Draws in the near side. Matt Berry will take the face-off against Keaton Jamison. And the draw won by Cincinnati over in the corner. Sure holds up Passote. Grizzlies get it. Jamison sails it and clears it out. Just under the video boards, the puck drops in the Cincinnati zone. 15 seconds left in the major power play. We're tied at 2, about halfway through the scheduled 60 minutes. As Sean Allen moves it ahead to Berry. Berry with a good speed, skates towards the left circle. Berry feeds it out in front. It glanced off the stick. Now Sean Allen he skates towards the right point. The Grizzlies are back at full strength as Passo behind the net for Burzan. Back to Passo. Take a shot. Saved by Minor. Rebound goes to the far side. Burzan in the corner. Gets held up by Shearer. Burzan keeps his feet. Shearer doing a great job defensively. Up top for Allen. Right point. Shot on. It bounced off of Minor's pad and into the back of the net. Minor tried to make a pad save, and instead it just ricocheted off his pad and into the net as Sean Allen gets his first goal of the season. A rare goal by Sean Allen, and Cincinnati gets a 5-on-5 tally as they've taken a 3-2 lead. That is Allen's 5th ECHL goal. He scored 2 with Wichita last year. He had 1 in 5 games with Cincinnati. So he gets about 1, maybe 2 goals a year on average, and he just got his first of the season. Trent Minor, after the puck ended up in the back of the net and he realized it, looked up to the heavens and said, he probably couldn't believe it. Allen with the goal. Luka Burzan with an assist. It's Burzan's 10th assist of the season. He's also spent some time in the AHL. Time of goal 9:48 in. Cincinnati leads 3-2. We're skating 5-on-5. Cyclones win the faceoff. Throw it to Caparuso at the Utah blue line. It's taken away by Cutler. Moves ahead to Penner. Penner left side. Shot. Kick saved by Beck. Warm. Now goes back over to Tho. Drops off for Cutler. Cutler to the near side, near the corner. Trying to get it back to Penner. It goes behind him. Caparuso moves ahead to Vive. Vive gains the line. Stops the right point. Chips it across as it airbornes. Bounces off the near wall for Andrusiak. Andrusiak around the net as it glides towards Berzola on the right side. Berzola around to the corner. He gets hit by Penner. Now behind Utah's net. Andrusiak gets hit. Grizzlies battle 2-on-2 scrum as Pfizer feeds it from one corner to the other. Nobody was there. Cutler skates over there. Polino gathers the puck. He'll skate around Utah's net. Takes a shot and hits the pipe. As Cutler gets it in the near corner. Tried to clear it out. It bounced off a Cincinnati stick. Cyclones. Caparuso over to Andrusiak. Shots blocked by Tho. Now Berzola right side shot and it's blocked. As Cutler over there, looks like Andrusiak's going to get a slashing minor. Andrusiak thought the referee is looking the other way and slashed Brandon Cutler. So the Grizzlies are going to be on a power play when we come back in 1 minute as Andrusiak gets 2 minutes for slashing. 9 minutes, 13 seconds left in regulation as Cincinnati leads Utah 3-2 on the Grizzlies Hockey Network. Zach Andrusiak's in the Rogers and Russell Legal Solutions holding cell. 2 minutes for slashing. Time of penalty 10:47 in. Cincinnati leads Utah 3-2. 9 minutes, 13 seconds left in the second period. Have you or someone you know been charged with a DUI? Rogers and Russell is Utah's DUI defense firm. Consequences for driving under the influence in Utah are serious, and you need great attorneys on your first line. Look for a letter in the mail from Rogers and Russell inviting you to schedule a free consultation. Don't throw away or disregard this letter. Call and get Utah's #1 DUI defense team. Rogers and Russell. Cincinnati led 1-0 after one period. Matt Berry got his 16th of the year unassisted. Brandon Cutler tied the game 1:55 into the second. And then 11 seconds later, Utah made it 2-1. As we're back to live action, Luka Burzan skates towards the left circle, centers it. Shot goes wide as Polino had it in the slot on a centering feed from Luka Burzan. Grizzlies gather the puck, 9 minutes and counting left in the second period. Cincinnati 3, Utah 2. Grizzlies are on the power play. We'll get to the rest of the scoring during the next whistle as the Grizzlies cross center. Nice move on Cutler, skating down the middle. Now he gets poked away by McLean. Cutler gets it back in the right point on the near side as Cutler over to Sean Allen. Allen just recently got Cincinnati a 3-2 lead as he scored from the right side. Allen battles, gets the puck, and clears it out as it glides towards Trent Miner, who cuts it off in the crease as Cincinnati makes a full line change. As Utah dances around to their own zone as Sekos across to Cameron Wright. Right back to Sekos. Sekos wearing number 17 in the Captain America jersey. Skates neutralized, drops it off for Wright. Right to the right side, crosses center. Now Wright gets around a skater, gets hit by Mingo. Wright glides it towards Beck Warm, who covers up. Now Johnny Walker gets pushed by Jalen Smerrick. Walker trying to draw a penalty, and looks like the referee isn't going to call one. 8:13 left in the second. Walker now trying to plead with the referee. And sometimes Walker, he could stop about 10 feet in front of the goaltender. Instead, he just stops and puts a little snow on the goaltender's face, just kind of getting right up in there on the goaltender. That's really what starts a lot of it with Johnny Walker and some of the opposition. Walker could have stopped a lot further away from the goaltender he did, but no, let's just stop right there in front. I had some idiot who was driving behind me who did the same thing. It's just, you don't need to be tailgating, but hey, Johnny Walker does that. That's part of what makes him a good hockey player. Cincinnati wins the faceoff. They clear it out. 55 seconds left in the power play as James Shearer gets it. He's behind the goal line. He'll stop behind Trent Miner. Now feeds to the far side for Aaron Tho. Glides across to Martell. Right side, Martell gains a line of speed, gets around Smerrick. Martell centers it to Jamison. Shot saved by Warm. Goes back to Aaron Tho to the left side as Tho throws to the corner for Martell. Back up top for Tho. Tho with a lefty wrist shot. Bounced off the stick of Lee Lapede. Stays in place. It bounced off the end glass. Smerrick gets it and clears it out. Miner to the far side, gathers it. 25 seconds left in the Grizzlies power play as Andrusiak got 2 minutes for slashing. As Tho glides it ahead to the right side for Jared Power, who scored his first pro goal on Friday. He'll feed it across, tapped off the stick of Luka Burzan, rolls towards the far side. As Shearer feeds to the corner. Now the Grizzlies chip it across for Power. Power couldn't get it. Now he gets it as now the Grizzlies up top for Tho. Across to Shearer. Right side shot. Saved by Warm. Now to the left side. Grizzlies up top for Tho. Now to Shearer. And he's on the right side. And Andrusiak out of the box. Shearer throws to the near goal line for Jamison, who gets pushed down. Jamison on two knees. Continues to get dragged by Berzola. As Cincinnati lifts it high into the air. Berg chasing after it with James Shearer. Shearer and Berg get there about the same time as Shearer nudges it across to Tho. We'll clear it out to center as it glides all the way deep in the Cincinnati zone. As the Grizzlies broke their stick and Cutler gets a new one. Goes to neutral ice. Grizzlies get it to McDonald to cross the center from the right wing. He gets back checked by Caparuso. McDonald, right wing shot goes wide. As Cutler skates towards the left side, looks to center it. Picked off by McLean, who couldn't clear it out. Penner chips across to Cutler. Left side shot, and he swings and misses. As Cincinnati moves ahead to Andrusiak, he'll cross center ice. Left wing pass to McLean. As he'll enter the zone, McLean skates towards the left circle. He'll take a lefty shot, saved by Miner. As now it gets poked away. Andrusiak left circle, shot saved by Miner again. Rebound goes to Utah. McDonald clears it out. Smerrick at the Cincinnati blue line moves out to center ice. Andrusiak gets hit. Penner dumps it back in. As Pfizer comes off, Grizzlies make a full line change. Smerrick with an outlet pass to center. Goes to Polino, one-time tap to Andruzak, who fires it across near Cincinnati's bench. Walker gathers it, skates along the left side. Now he veers off to the right. I try to find Cameron Wright. Now Wright gets it back. Righty shot kick saved by Beck Warm. Now left point, sure with a lefty blast. Saved by Warm as he makes a glove stop. Now Johnny Walker and Jalen Smerick. Boy, Walker pushed Smerick. 5:46. And Smerick. Boy, Smerick just slashed Cameron Wright in the neck. Smerick slashed Cameron Wright in the neck. Wright is down. Smerick's going to ask to go to the bench. Wright is hurt. The trainer, Colin Lee, is going after him, and Lee is looking after him. Smerick goes to the bench. If the referee saw it, Smerick is probably out of the game, as Smerick looked like he hit Cameron Wright. And Wright is hurt. I think Smerick hit Wright across the neck based on how Wright is responding. 5:46 left in the second period. Cincinnati leads 3-2. Wright is down. The Grizzlies' leading scorer. Jalen Smerick was battling with Utah after whistles, as Smerick just doing what a good defenseman normally does, and that's protecting your goaltender. Cameron Wright looks like he's going to get back to his feet. But Smerick hit Wright probably around the Adam's apple area. Wright trying to catch his breath. It looks like it's tough for him, though, as Wright's going to walk to the locker room. I think Smerick's been thrown out of this game as Smerick goes to the locker room. Jalen Smerick looks like he's going to get an early shower, as he just hit Cameron Wright, I believe, on the neck. So it looks like Utah is going to get a power play. I wonder if it's something the referee could review. Referee's getting some water. 5:46 left in the second. Grizzlies have outshot the Cyclones 21-20. But let's take a look at the scoring recap here so far, as Matt Berry gave Cincinnati a 1-0 lead as he scored 13:32 into the contest. It's his 16th of the year. It was unassisted. Brandon Cutler tied it up. 1:55 in, with Zach Sekos and Cameron Wright getting the assists. Yeah, Smerick just hit Cameron Wright along the neck. And Smerick, I believe, has been thrown out of the game as they show the replay. 11 seconds after Cutler tied it up 1-1. Cutler scored on the power play. Jordan Martell scored on a rebound from a Keaton Jamison shot. Jacob Semick also with an assist. Martell got his 11th of the year. Cincinnati tied it up. 6:28 into the second. It was a 5-on-3 power play goal. Berzola with his 5th of the season, with the assist going to Dejan Mingo and Luka Berzan. And Sean Allen scored from the right side. Spearing's the cause. Jacob Smerick speared Cameron Wright in the neck. 5-minute major. Smerick also got a game misconduct. Spearing a guy in the neck. That's dangerous. League might take a look at that one. So Bryson Martin's in the locker room. So is Jalen Smerick. So both guys are down to defensemen. Grizzlies win the face-off. They're on the power play. Major power play. Cincinnati leads 3-2. Cyclones clear it out. Sean Allen scored 9:48 in. And that's where we stand now. Cincinnati leading 3-2. 5-minute major power play. Jalen Smerick got 5 for spearing Cameron Wright in the neck. And a game misconduct. Zach Sekos crosses center ice. Martell's on the ice replacing Cameron Wright as Cutler gains the offensive line to the left side. He gets hit by Berzola. Cutler towards left point, back towards Walker. Glanced off his stick. And Josh Passo down the middle will clear it all the way out. Sekos will get it to Brandon Cutler. Right wing pass to Martell across the center ice. Martell gains the line, skates towards the right circle. Martell now around Cincinnati's net. As he skates towards the far side, Martell gets pushed along the boards by Allen. Puck glides across to Pfizer on the right side. Pfizer at the point, chips it down the middle for Walker. Walker glides towards his left. Walker gets knocked down by Berzola. Now Pfizer on the right side. Walker gets his stick back up top for Sekos. Now to Cutler on the left. Cutler has already got a power play goal this evening. Cutler chips it across to Sekos, right point. And to Pfizer on the right side. Pfizer danced around Sean Allen in front of him. Pfizer now to the right point. Backhand pass across off the boards for Cutler on the left side. Cutler chips to the corner. Nobody's there. Cincinnati gets it and clears it out. Both teams make a line change. 4:20 and counting left in the second period. Cincinnati leads 3-2, but the Grizzlies are on a major power play for the next 3:30. Aaron Tho gets it after the line change. Left wing pass now across to Penner. Penner gains the line, throws the Power. Power up top for Tho. Tho dances around on the right point, stops, gets the Power across to Shearer. Now to Tho. One-timer on his block by Allen out in front. Remember, Cincinnati down to just 4 defensemen. Burzan, left side, gains the line. Skates towards the left circle. Backhand shot saved by Minor. Rebound, Burzan couldn't get it as Shearer cut him off. Great defensive play by James Shearer, not letting Burzan get a second look. Near side, Jamison crosses center ice. Over to Penner, lifts it high into there, goes over the head of Beck-Warm, and out of play off the protective netting. Draw's going to come out to neutralize as there's 3:40 left in the second period and 2:54 left in the Jalen Smerrick spearing major. And it wasn't just any spear. It looked like he speared Cameron Wright in the neck. See if Cameron Wright re-enters the game. Cameron Wright's back out there. Wright re-enters. He had to get some work on, but Cameron Wright is back on the ice. Haven't seen much of Christian Simeone in the second period. He blocked a shot in the first frame. Walker's taking the face-off with Wright to his right, Pfizer to his left. Up top is Cutler and Sekos. Cincinnati wins the face-off. Josh Passout with good speed. Gets around Brandon Cutler. Passout gets dragged down by Cutler. Cutler takes the puck. They'll throw it back to Sekos behind Utah's net. 3:27 and counting left in the second. As Pfizer at neutral ice, near side, throws it back to Cameron Wright. Right with the left wing pass to Cutler. Cutler drives it in. It bounces off the glass. Cutler in the right corner gets it. As Wright gets blasted by Sean Allen. Cincinnati clears it out. Minor behind his net as Cincinnati will filter some guys off. And remember, Cincinnati only rolling with 15 and now 14 with Smerrick getting the game misconduct. And Cody Cron's been on the bench, has been in the penalty box serving a misconduct. So Cincinnati only 14. They've got a limited bench. Grizzlies gain center ice far side and drive it into the near corner. Martel gets held up by Sean Allen. Grizzlies drift it towards the near wall as Cameron Wright throws it up top for Sekos, back towards Wright. Wright battling with Lapede as puck gets poked away by Pfizer. As he'll throw it to the corner, Walker gets it, wearing number 7. Walker over to Utah. Cutler, Sekos, now to the right side for Wright. Back to Sekos, over to Pfizer. Pfizer, now to Wright. Right side, shot goes wide. Walker drifts over to the Rooster, Jordan Martel. Left corner, now Wright, back to Walker, near goal line, over to Pfizer. Shot, saved by Warm. Great stop by the Cincinnati goaltender. As Martel skates towards his right, he'll take a righty shot. Kick saved by Warm. Martel up top for Sekos. 2:05 left in the second. As Martel gets up top for Sekos. Sekos to his left. Now back to Martel. Couldn't reach it. Sean Allen skates towards the corner. And Johnny Walker tried to clear it out. But instead it flipped out of play. Is it going to be delay of game? I don't think it is. But the puck exits. Straw's going to be in the Cincinnati zone as both teams make a line change. 1:57 left in the second period and 1:11 left in the major power play. Utah has not scored on the power play yet as Cincinnati leads 3-2. During the second intermission, we'll get Guy Chiarenza's perspective on things. We'll also talk with Tim Broussard as well. Jamison wins the faceoff. Sure on the right side, over to Cutler in the right circle. Cutler dancing around in the corner as Cutler surveys. As now skate towards the right circle, over to right, back towards Cutler, who gets dragged down by Passout. As Cutler and Wright looking for the give and go as Grizzlies will reset. Tho ahead to Jamison. Left wing pass kicks off a Mingo's stick. Goes back over to Tho near the Cincinnati bench. He'll throw it back into the Grizzly zone for Cutler, who glides it to McCallchuk. And McCallchuk's a scratch. Now Jamison will dump it in. As Tho over there, the specialty jerseys aren't perfect with the numbers, even though they are white numbers. Grizzlies cross center ice. Aaron Tho will skeet down the middle. Now he gains the line and veers off to the left. Now over to Cutler. Lefty shot saved by Warm. As Power over there in the area. Power is actually the one that took the shot, not Cutler. His puck glides towards the right side. Sure in the area. He collides with the boards as McLean dumped him in. As Tho skates towards the corner, but overskates the puck. As Tho now battles with Dejan Mingo. Mingo's going to have to be critical in this game as Mingo loses his stick now. Tho loses his stick. Mingo gets his stick back and clears it out to center as it goes between James Shearer's legs. As coming out of the box is Cody Caron. The Cincinnati's back at full strength as the Grizzlies couldn't score on that 5-minute major power play. McDonald glides it out to center ice for Pfizer. Left wing pass to Wright. Right towards the circle, gets it poked away. Now Cincinnati still in their own zone, feeds it back to their own corner. Grizzlies battle, Cameron Wright in the area. As Cyclones cycle the puck around the wall, it goes to center ice. Cutler off the boards near the Utah blue line. As Cameron Wright and Sean Allen tangle up. Grizzlies still in their own end. As Pfizer crosses center ice, now he veers off to the left. Pfizer gets a screen from Penner. Pfizer feeds it out in front. Right. We'll throw it back to Pfizer. Back to Jacob Semick, left side shot. And it bounced off of Warm's glove. Now McDonald, right side shot, saved by Warm. And that'll do it for 2 periods here at Maverick Center. As after the whistle, Cameron Wright and Sean Allen exchanging words. Now that period was certainly that was an entertaining period. And not all of it was due to non-physical stuff. As Cameron Wright continues to have some words with Sean Allen. Bryson Martin got a game misconduct for a slashing major, and Jalen Smerick got a spearing major in a game misconduct. So both teams a little bit shorthanded defensively as both teams head to their respective locker rooms as Cincinnati leads Utah 3-2. And we'll come back and recap the first 2 periods with Guy Chiarenza, and we'll also talk some hockey with Tim Broussard. As Cincinnati's had an outstanding record in leading after 2 periods. We'll see what happens here in the third this evening. Through 40 minutes of play here at Maverick Center, it's Cincinnati 3, Utah 2. This is the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
When you pay with the Nitro card at Maverick, you always save 10 cents or more on fuel every gallon, every day. And you could save a whole lot more thanks to Nitro Best Price. Pick up a Nitro card and upgrade your Adventure Club account today.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
Maverick's new bean-to-cup machines always deliver a freshly ground cup of coffee on demand, so you can enjoy any of our premium roasts at their best, day or night, hot or iced. Enjoy a fresh cup today.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can, and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
Welcome back to the Grizzlies Hockey Network. 3-2 Cyclones after 40 minutes of play. I'm Guy Chiarenza alongside Tyson Whiting, and this is the Rio Tinto Kennecott second intermission report. It's been a high-spirited affair here on a Sunday afternoon. Cincinnati got the first goal courtesy of Matt Berry, 13:32 in. Berry gets his 16th goal of the year, and the former Grizzly gambled with Trent Miner, and Trent Miner lost that gamble as he was trying to play the puck, got nothing but Berry, and Berry took the loose change and took it to the bank and gave the Cyclones a 1-0 lead. And that's where we stood after 20 minutes of play, but the Grizzlies rallied in the second period as a minute 55 into the second on the power play. It's Brandon Cutler in his first game back with the Grizzlies, getting his 11th goal this season from Sekos and Wright. As I mentioned before, that is on the power play. Then, not long after that, just 9 seconds to be exact, it's Jordan Martell. Excuse me, make that 11 seconds. It's Jordan Martell.
It's University of Utah math.
You don't do math on the air. You don't do math on the air. It's Jordan Martell getting his 11th goal of the year, and he makes it a 2-1 game as Keaton Jameson and Jacob Semick assist on those goals. And it was 2-1 Utah for a little bit. But then the Grizzlies found themselves in a little bit of penalty trouble, and on the 5-on-3, it's Zach Berzola getting his 5th goal of the season from Mingo and Berzan. And so that made it a 2-2 hockey game. And then 9:48 in on a funny-looking bounce. Trent Miner just wasn't able to get a lot on it and ended up bouncing into the back of his own net. Sean Allen from the blue line gets his first goal of the season from former Grizzlies Luca Berzan and Matt Barry. So the revenge game has been pretty successful for the two former Grizzlies, as Barry has a goal and assist, and Berzan picks up an apple in this game and it's 3-2 Cyclones after 40 minutes of play. Utah's 1 for 5 on the power play. Cincinnati is 1 for 4. Shots are 24-21 in favor of the Grizzlies. Grizzlies took 14 shots at the Cyclones, 12 in the second period. It's also notable to mention that Bryson Martin got a 5-minute major in the second. He also got a game misconduct, so he is out. For Cincinnati, Jalen Smerrick speared Cameron Wright. He got 5 minutes, and he was also tossed from the game. So now Cincinnati's down to 4 defensemen remaining in this one. So if the Grizzlies can find a way to wear them down throughout the course of this third period, comeback is not entirely out of the question. As we've seen, the Grizzlies over the course of the season have really been a good comeback team. Scoring chances are 9-7 in favor of the Grizzlies in the second period. Shots, as I mentioned, were 14-12 in favor of the Grizzlies. Grizzlies once again favored in the faceoff circle, 10-6. 6 of those shots for the Grizzlies were taken on the power play. 4 of the shots for the Cyclones were taken on their man advantage. 2 were taken shorthanded for Cincinnati. Hits are 8-6 in favor of Utah, and giveaways are 4 apiece. Tyson, that was a wild second period. I got to ask you, though, did you get that play where we had Dylan Fitz and Berzola tussling around here in the corner, and then the play was still going on? Ref wouldn't blow the whistle. Did we both learn our lesson from Wednesday night's affair?
Yeah, fool me once, shame on me. I wasn't getting fooled again. I was able to follow the puck. Berg with a nice backhand shot, and Miner made the save. Meanwhile, Fitz just kind of bear hugged the Cincinnati player, and then it's like Fitz broke through and was able to get a couple of hits on Leela P. And, that was certainly an interesting exchange. The Grizzlies got that power play there as Cody Cron just kind of, Walker was looking at it, then Cron just kind of bear hugged and attacked Walker. Got a 10-minute misconduct and a 2-minute penalty by the Grizzlies there. That 11-second stretch was crazy. 1:55 in. Cutler scored from the left side as they isolated him, and he had an open look. And then 11 seconds later, the Grizzlies scored again. Jamison just got it from the right side after Utah won the face-off, took a shot, bounced off the Beck Warm, and then the Rooster, Jordan Martell, was able to get the rebound and put it away. At that point, I thought the Grizzlies had a lot of momentum. But then, Dylan Fitz got the 2, I don't know, he got a 2, a 4, and a 10, it looks like. I'm not sure about the delay of game. It was a 2, 4, and a 10. Not sure about the delay of game. I don't know why it was called the delay of game. And for some reason, when Karan went after Johnny Walker at center ice, they called that a delay of game. And I'm not really sure why. Cincinnati, was able to get a power play goal, 6:28 in. And that was part of the 5-on-3 barrage there, in the middle of the major penalty. Luckily, it was in the second half, I believe, of the 5-on-3. So then, can move on with the 5-on-4 Cincinnati power play. And unfortunately, I did see the Bryson Martin slash, and I was wondering if it was going to be more than 2 minutes, and it turned out to be more than 2 minutes. It almost looked like the referee was going to give him 2 minutes, and the linesman, Andrew Collins, said, no, I saw something different. We got to add that. And then Bryson Martin got ejected from the game, and Cincinnati, Berzola scored 6:28 in, and you don't expect a Sean Allen to score. He gets the puck to the right side, and he scores about 1 goal a year, and he got his first of the season, gave Cincinnati a lead. And then luckily Cameron Wright didn't miss much time when Jalen Smerrick speared him up high. Luckily Wright was able to get back in the game. But I think if the Grizzlies come up short this evening, Guy, I think that we're going to look back to that major power play and not getting any goals on that, as Cincinnati still leads 3-2, and the Grizzlies might be kicking themselves for not capitalizing on that opportunity.
It's been really tough on the power play for the Grizzlies, Tyson. They have the 1 goal in this game, which was good to see on the power play, but it's just tough. Who really should get the delay of game penalty is the referee, Marc-Olivier Phaneuf. We spent like 5 minutes here just trying to figure out what was going on. I was like, okay, can we beat the dinner rush? Can we figure this out? No. So I think he should get the layup game. But, really, on the Grizzlies on the power play, just to add on to what Tim Broussard was saying in the first intermission, I think you got to have more streakers. I think you just got to have a little bit more speed. I think the Grizzlies power play is just a little bit too predictable. I think Cincinnati is doing a good job of getting sticks on pucks, and they're really just disrupting whatever the Grizzlies are trying to do. You had 5 minutes on the power play. Maybe one of those minutes was spent with really good sustained offensive pressure on that power play. Otherwise, the Grizzlies were just trying to fumble around in the neutral zones. Cincinnati was standing up at the blue line, and then once the Grizzlies were able to make it into the Cincinnati zone, they would just pass it around, and then one pass too many, and it hops off of somebody's stick or bounces into a Cyclone stick, and there you go. It goes right back down to Trent Miner. So I think the Grizzlies just need to simplify their game. I'd like to see them just take more shots on the power play. I really think just move in with speed and just take in more shots on the power play. I think that would solve a lot of things, especially if you have a guy crashing the net. I mean, we saw the Roosters score a goal crashing that in this game off a rebound. Sometimes that's just all it takes. So for the Grizzlies, their power play woes continue, and you're right. If the Grizzlies lose this one, that's certainly a moment that we'll look back on.
Talk to you during the post-game report.
Thank you, Tyson.
That's Guy Chiarenza. When we come back, we'll talk with Tim Broussard and get his thoughts on things as Cincinnati leads Utah 3-2 in the second intermission. Final game of the 3-game set on the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
Second intermission here at Maverick Center. Cincinnati leads Utah 3-2. I'm Tyson Whiting here with Tim Broussard. Tim, was a crazy second period. A lot of things happened. But there early on in the second period, the Grizzlies scored 2 goals 11 seconds apart and took a 2-1 lead.
And then after that, we quickly went to the leftovers from the WWE event from last night, It was frustrating to see because they had that great jump and, a little hop and skip in your step and skating to the bench, and you got all smiles. And then look what happens, a little bit of complacency, and here comes back, Cincinnati roaring right back.
It was great to see the Rooster, though, get that rebound. And I think that was the aggression of the Grizzlies, win the face-off and just take it north-south.
Exactly. He came in with purpose, and Warren was doing everything he could to stay, square to the initial shot. But just being in the right place, right time, have that blade open, pop it right up, and that was in.
Cincinnati had a major power play. Unfortunately, from what we saw, it was a good call as Bryson Martin just kind of took a swing at the Cincinnati guy, and so Martin's kicked out of the game. And then later in the second period, Jalen Smerrick just kind of speared Cameron Wright up high. Luckily, Cameron Wright was able to come back in the game later in the second period, but both teams are going to be short defensively.
Yeah, and you know what? Out of anybody who I think is probably going to hurt the most, it's Cincinnati. I mean, we're so used to playing shorthanded on D. We got the rotational a scheme that, hey, we can play defense by committee. Cincinnati really hasn't had to do that much this year. So I think we've got the advantage there. And I like Guy's point of, hey, let's wear them out. Let's throw some speed at them, make them chase us on their heels, and make them run through that rotation of only, two pair to defend your back end.
Sean Allen usually scores about 1 goal a year, and he's got the deciding goal there from the right point.
Yep. Yeah. And it was hard to see that whole thing crumbling down like the wall. Gosh darn it. I think part of it is I think we're not being aggressive enough in the zone. And I have the notes on here, the time in our offensive possession, we're still struggling to gain the blue line and then do something with it, so maybe it comes down to, like Guy said, you just throw everything at the kitchen sink and gain the line and shoot, do something, whatever that scheme is that you have set up. Cincinnati's reading it. They're in the passing lane. They're comfortable enough not even to play a zone, but almost a man-to-man. That's crazy when you're playing that aggressive, that far out. Their wings are on our D all over, just all over the blue line. So that's creating all kind of problems. And this is what you see. You see no continuity, and you see people, trying to pass to empty spots where people should be, and they're not.
Anything noticeable you've noticed from Cincinnati goaltender Beck Warm?
gosh, that guy's got some of the most deepest cuts on his power slides, and they're so sharp. And I don't know what this little spin move is, but I've seen him do it, 3 times. He goes into this rotisserie chicken kind of thing, and he spins, and then it kicks out the puck one way or the other. But seriously, to be able to do that and be able to stay square to the puck, that's tough. On the other end, Trent Miner, I've seen him playing in a deep crouch. What that means is he's anticipating a lot of lateral movement. So he's staying in that crouch, being able to, hey, I've got to be able to move left and right super quick and covering a lot of ground. What happens is that leaves the top a little bit open. And I think on the deflection that came in, he went to play it with his blocker, kind of anticipating that he was in the half stance, and he was in the full crouch, and, deflection went in.
Got a pretty good video crew on Flow Sports here today helping us out.
Yeah, hey, how about the birthday boy, Jed Lieber?
All right.
Our director there. We also have our replay engineers, TB. On cam 1 is always Jeff. On cam 2 is Adam. On cam 3 is Cody with the unusual spelling and weird name, and they can tease about him now on the radio. And cam 4, Brandon. You guys are the best in the ACHL, and we appreciate you.
Wait, is that Kodie?
Kodie, Cody.
Must be from Utah.
Nice.
Happy birthday, Jed. Hopefully he's having a good Sunday, and we'll see if it's a successful third period for the Grizzlies and a comeback attempt. Tim will talk to you during the postgame show.
Appreciate it, Tyson.
That's Tim Broussard. When we come back, we'll have third period action here at Maverick Center. As Cincinnati leads 3-2, we'll skate with Cameron Wright in the penalty box. Looks like Cincinnati will be on a power play when we start the third period. And we'll come back in 1 minute for the third period on the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
Now we're about set for third period action. Cameron Wright got a 2-minute penalty at the very end of the second period as 2 minutes are on the stadium scoreboard clock for Cameron Wright, even though it's not been added to the ECHL app. So it looks like Cincinnati will start the third period on the power play as Cincinnati leads Utah 3-2. Some other games involving Mountain Division teams. Looks like 9 minutes are left in the third period. Kansas City leads Tulsa 3-1. As Kansas City this season is in a tie, or they're in third place by themselves with 64 points. So Kansas City with a victory will be tied with Wichita for second place in the Mountain Division. Remember, the top 4 teams in each division make the playoffs. Second intermission, Fort Wayne leads Rapid City 4-2. Looks like everybody's going nuts about a Fort Wayne goaltender scoring a goal in the third period of last night's game as Fort Wayne defeated Rapid City 6-3. And the Grizzlies right now are tied with Rapid City for fifth place in the Mountain Division with 61 points. Utah is just one back of Allen for fourth place. Allen is off this afternoon. And so the Grizzlies looking for a comeback attempt to see if they can jump ahead of Allen for fourth place in the Mountain Division. And if you're thinking about Tulsa, who's in last place, the Grizzlies are hoping for a Tulsa comeback against Kansas City. And they're also rooting for the Fort Wayne Comets, who have a 4-2 lead over Rapid City at Memorial Coliseum. Seems like the face-off battle is a little more even than what they say statistically. Statistically, they say the Grizzlies have won 25 face-offs to Cincinnati's 13. Utah with 9 giveaways to Cincinnati's 7. For the Grizzlies, it'll be interesting to see defensively. Oog ends up getting some more time. Aaron Thoe, Jacob Semick probably going to see a little bit more time without Bryson Martin, who's got a game misconduct. And for Cincinnati, their best defenseman is Jalen Smerrick. At least it is statistically plus 32 this season. Smerrick was the number 1 star on Friday with 2 goals, but he got a game misconduct. Cameron Wright got a slashing minor at the very end of the second period, so that's why Cincinnati's going to be on the power play to start the third period. Cameron Wright 2 minutes for slashing, 20 minutes into the second period. Grizzlies in the Captain America themed specialty jerseys. You can bid on those on the Dash Auction app. Looks like you can bid until maybe 9 o'clock tonight. Right now there's 3 minutes, 50 seconds left in the bid. Johnny Walker's jersey's going for $760. There are a few other jerseys that are a little more affordable as the Grizzlies win the draw and we're underway. Utah's shorthanded to start the third period as James Shearer sails it along the ice deep in the Cincinnati zone. Cyclones skate from left to right. Grizzlies skate from right to left. As Andrusiak over to the left side for Polino, skates towards the corner. Polino's got 3 goals in this series. He'll move it up top for Berzola, who's got a goal this evening. Caparuso over to Andrusiak, across to Polino. Puck lifted on him. He gets it off the boards. Polino skates towards the corner. Gets over to Vive behind the goal line. Or Vive, back to Vive from Polino. Vive gets held up. He goes down. Grizzlies chip it along the far boards. Berzola keeps it into the left point. He'll glide it over to Caparuso. Now to the corner for Polino. As Polino skates around Utah's net. Being shadowed by McDonald. Up top for Berzola, who skates towards his right now to Andrusiak. Across to Polino, who's on his backhand. He gathers it over to Berzola. Now to Andrusiak. One-timer. Kick save by Minor. Andrusiak gets it back off the boards halfway through the power play. Now to the near goal line for Caparuso over to Vive. Backhand shot goes wide. Polino towards the far corner. Gets hit by McDonald. Gets held up there. Vive moves up top for Berzola. Poked away. Grizzlies have a breakaway. Zach Sekos to the right. He'll ski towards his left to take a lefty shot. He scores! Zach Sekos gets a shorty, and we're tied at 3. Sekos gets his 13th of the season as he was at the Cincinnati blue line, nudged it across, and he was the only guy there. He had a breakaway, caught it from the right side, veered off to his left, and just went low on Beck Warm. And the Sunday crowd is having a good time here as Sekos gathered the puck in the Cincinnati zone. He just went low, 5-hole on Beck Warm. It's going to be unassisted, time of goal 1:14. Into the third as the Grizzlies get their 5th shorthanded goal of the season. And Zach Sekos is 13th of the campaign. Grizzlies won the draw. They're still shorthanded as Aaron Tho dumps it in. As Cyclones throw it to the far side, taken by Pfizer. Pfizer stops in the offensive zone now, throw it back to center ice as Jacob Semick will sell it back towards Cincinnati. A lot of shorthanded goals come unassisted as Matt Berry towards the near side. This one's no different. Berry across as Cincinnati enters the offensive zone. Cyclones to the left side, feed it up top to Mingo. Now it goes back to the far side. Now Mingo gets it in the high slot. He'll fake a shot, throw it to the right side as Burzan looking for a one-timer and fanned on it and fell down. Grizzlies gather it and clearing it out to Jacob Semick. Semick in his 6th professional game out of Arizona State. He played for ASU earlier this season. He's a college teammate of Johnny Walker's. Grizzlies are back at full strength as Mingo gets around Cameron Wright fresh out of the box. Right wing pass to Passo. Now to Berry. Righty one-timer. Saved by Minor. Trent holds on as Berry had a one-timer from the right point. Minor made the glove save about chest high in the Captain America look. And to look at the Dash Auction app, it does look like Johnny Walker way up there. $760 is what his jersey's going for right now. Grisby for $400. Trent Minor, the starting goaltender tonight, is at $330. So bid on those game-worn jerseys on the Dash Auction app. As off the draw in the Grizzlies zone, it's won by the Grizzlies. Tapped out the center ice. Cincinnati regathers it. Sean Allen moves it ahead. Caparuso gets it poked away. And Grizzlies move it ahead. We're tied at 3 as Zach Sekos scored unassisted, shorthanded, 1:14 in. It looks like the Grizzlies are called for icing as they're just trying to nudge it ahead. It went all the way deep into the Cincinnati zone. Cyclones got back defensively. So draw comes back towards Trent Minor. Fitz skates over there, talks with Minor. Cincinnati's been a good third period club. They've won 2 close games in this series, and the Cyclones don't have a record of 42-12, 6-3 without winning those close games. Grizzlies have been pretty good on 1-goal games as well. They're 13-4-3 in 1-goal contests. Draw one by the Grizzlies. Jordan Martell, the Rooster, will carry it out to neutral ice. He'll dump it in as Sean Allen knocked him down. Nothing malicious there as the puck glides along the boards. Martell tried to keep it in on the left point. It goes past him and into the Grizzlies zone. Martell will skate off the ice as Trent Minor behind his net will get it to Sure. Grizzlies skating from right to left as we see it from high top section 114 as Sekos moves it towards the Grizzlies bench. Walker chips it ahead. Secos chasing after. Gets poked away by McLean. Cincinnati at the Cincinnati blue line. Gets poked away by Walker. We get a whistle. Looks like the puck exited and re-entered the zone offside of the Grizzlies. 17:06 left in the third. John's going to come back towards the Cincinnati bench. Don't forget the homestand doesn't end here. Even though the series ends, the Grizzlies will host the Wichita Thunder for a big 3-game series. After today, there's just 9 games left in the regular season. 7 of them will be at Maverick Center. Thunder will be in town Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. Face off all 3 nights will be at 7:10. You can catch them right here on YouTube. And Flow Sports, your homes for Grizzlies hockey all season long, but we'd love to see you at Maverick Center. Wednesday night's going to be a Bud Light College night with discounted student tickets. Friday will be an AFCU. Friday, Cincinnati wins the draw. Lee Lapide drops it off. As Cincinnati skates in, left wing shot goes wide. That was taken by Passo. The net moved a little bit as it hit the side of it. As Secos clears it out to center. Berzola gets it back at the center ice logo. He'll backpedal into his own zone. Now move it ahead to Lapide. He'll tap it off of his stick. Though will glide it ahead. Walker right chasing after it. McLean gets there first. Right centers it. Picked off by Passo. As no Grizzly was out in front of the Cincinnati net. Cyclones feed it to the near side for Berzola. Rink wide pass tapped off the Cincinnati stick. No icing as Berg chases after it. Aaron Tho collides with Berg. Adams is first name. As Shearer gathers the puck. He'll throw it to the far side for Martel. Glides it back to Pfizer. It's behind him. Pfizer at center ice gets it. He'll skate back towards the Cincinnati blue line and bounce it off of Mingo. Now Passo to the right side. Skates towards a circle. Passo feeds it to the corner. As Burzan drives it up top for Mingo. It glanced off his skate and rolls to center ice. Allen will ricochet off the far boards. Pfizer gets around a skater. Now chip a left wing pass to Cutler. That's right. Brandon Cutler back after a stint in the AHL with the Colorado Eagles. He was released from a PTO earlier today. And Cutler in the lineup wearing number 29. Cutler at neutral ice, cross the center, gets around Matt Barry. Cutler gets to the Cincinnati blue line and dumps it in. Mingo having some words with Cutler as Cincinnati. Sean Allen skates to center ice left wing, and he'll chip it in as McDonald behind the net will feed it to the far side for Pfizer, who will drift it ahead for Shearer. He moves it out to center ice. Grizzlies chase after it. They get it at center ice. Jamison skates towards the blue line. McLean pokes it away. Cincinnati feeds the center ice logo from their zone, and Tho takes it away. Now Semick nudges it ahead. It bounced off a Fitz stick. Cincinnati lifts it high into the air. Semick at the Utah blue line gathers the puck. He'll throw it across to Aaron Tho. Tho in the Grizzlies zone. Outlets it out to Dylan Fitz. It glides off Fitz's stick and flies over towards Berg, who makes the save. Beck warm as Martel on the right point feeds it across. Pass behind as Barry takes it. Barry skates towards his left. He's now on the high slot. Take a righty shot. Save. Rebound. Barry trying to get a second look, but Grizzlies poke it away. Jordan Martel crosses center ice, and Berzola takes it away. Now another Grizzly gets in, and Fitz will dump it in. Grizzlies make a full line change. Outlet pass to Caparuso. He gathers it at the Utah blue line. A skate towards the right circle. He falls down, trips up a Grizzly. It was incidental, no call on the play. As the puck squirts towards the high slot, taken by Sekos, who scored a shorthanded goal early in the third period. Sekos around. He skates towards the right side, falls down in the corner, delivers it up top for McDonald, but it exits the zone. McDonald back in his own end with the puck. 14-18 and counting left in the third as we're tied at 3. Sure to the near side, moves it ahead, past Sekos. It glides along the boards. Cameron Wright cuts it off in the corner. He avoids a check of Sean Allen. Now around to Walker behind Cincinnati's net. As Walker fires it up top for McDonald. Now to Shearer in the high slot. Take a lefty shot. Now he got blocked out in front by Mingo. Cyclones come back the other way. Passes, center ice connects. Passo tries to get around McDonald. Great defensive play by McDonald, cutting off Passo. And is pursued as it goes to Cameron Wright at the Utah blue line. He moves it out to center ice for Pfizer. Pfizer guides it ahead for Wright, and Wright was wide of the play. McLean collides with Wright as Berzola with the puck. He'll throw a left wing pass. Cyclones skate in. Adam Berg gains the offensive line, drifts it towards the left corner. Sharp angled shot saved by Miner with Kyle Pouncey pursuing him. As Aaron Tho gets taken away by Lapide. Lapide collides with Tho. Wright wraps it around the boards as Luka Burzan tried to get around Pfizer on a spin move, but lost the puck. Tho across towards Pfizer. McLean in the corner gets there before Pfizer as Burzan will tap it off the glass. Goes to Polino, get it over to Passo. Now Polino gets it. He'll ski towards his right. Right wing pass to Berzola. Berzola towards the right circle now around Utah's net. I trying to deliver it out in front behind the net. And the net gets dislodged. Miner looks at it. He wants a whistle. And now the whistle blows. 12:59 left in the third. As they put the net back in place. Timeout on the ice. We'll take one as well. Zach Sekos scored 114 into the third, and that's where we stand now. We're tied at 3 on the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
We're tied at 3, 12:59 left in the third period. Grizzlies have outshot these Cyclones 26-24. Draws give me the near circle. Patrick Polino will take it against Keaton Jamison. Last of a 3-game series. Cyclones won the first 2 games of the set. Cincinnati's won 8 straight, and they've got a standing point in 20 straight. As Grizzlies will carry it out of the zone. Power moves it ahead to Martel. The Rooster left circle. Fires it across. It bounced off of Mingo. As a Grizzly literally kicks it to the corner. It was Power who didn't have a stick. Martel lifts it high into the air. It's gloved by the Grizzlies in the far circle. Though gathers it. Shot, and it's blocked by Mingo. Cincinnati gets it as Burzan ricochets over to Barry, who glides it across, but it just glides slowly towards the center ice logo. Utah tried to dump it in and bounced it off the Rooster. As Barry battles with Semick. Semick gets it as Barry lost his stick. Grizzlies cross center ice and fire it towards the near corner. Utah makes a full line change. Brazola behind the net. As Brazola holds up a Grizzly, puck squirts towards the near corner as McLean will lift it in the air. It's gloved by Cameron Wright near the penalty box area at center ice, near side. Dump it in. As now an outlet pass to Andrusiak of the Utah blue line gets poked away by Shearer. Wright gets it as Wright gets blasted by Brazola. Walker takes the puck. Righty shot, and it's blocked. As Cincinnati gets it. Caparuso gains center ice, and he'll lift it in as it bounces off the America First Credit Union sign in the right corner. As Andrusiak over towards Caparuso. Wright nudges towards the far side. Johnny Walker gathers it. Walker stops and dumps it over towards McDonald. Connor to the right side. It's McDonald, right corner, shot, saved by Beck Warm. The puck flies off the protective netting and out of play. 11:33 left in the third as we're tied at 3. Might be interesting if next goal wins kind of thing. Both teams a little bit shorthanded defensively as Jacob Smerrick got a game misconduct. 14-14 into the second, but earlier in the second period, Bryson Martin got a game misconduct. 4:34 into the second. Draws give me the far side as Grisby hanging out, entertaining the crowd. Grisby's wearing his Captain America jersey as well. In fact, you can bid on the game-worn jersey that Grisby's wearing right now. Johnny Walker and Justin Vive laughing it up. Walker's laughing. I'm not sure Vive was laughing there. Johnny Walker's about as fun to watch as it can be. Maybe that's why his jersey's going for so much on the Dash Auction app. $760 is what his jersey's going for that he's wearing right now. As the draw won by Cincinnati. They're in their own zone, skating from left to right. They're moving out to center ice. As Grizzlies poke it away. Good defensive play by Kyle Pouncey, who gets it. They'll nudge it ahead as the Grizzlies still in their own zone. And now it goes to Tho across the center ice. He'll skate down the middle. Left wing chip over to Penner. Now centers it to Fizer. He's in the high slot. I try to get it to the right side for Cutler. It bounced off the boards. Cutler in the corner gets it poked away. Grizzlies have a kickoff a skate. Cincinnati 3-on-3. They cross center ice. They'll chip it over to the right side. Lapide chases after it. Right corner. Puck stays in the corner. Grisby's now over there walking as Lapide rolls it around. Looks like Grisby hasn't missed any dinners lately. Left point shot is blocked as Utah clears it out. Bounces at center ice. I need to get on a diet plan. It looks like so does Grisby as Brazola gets it taken away. Flies across the center ice. Left wing pass to Penner, who stops to the left point. Now over to Fitz. Backhand shot. Saved by Warm. Luka Burzan skates along the near side. Now he's at neutralized. Burzan crosses center with good speed. Burzan will skate towards the right side. The former Grizzly take a shot and he scores. What a play by Luka Burzan. As he just skated along the right side, now veered off to the left and snuck it past Trent Miner. The former Grizzly gets some big-time revenge on his former team as he high-fives everybody on the Cyclones bench. Luka scored 2 playoff goals for the Grizzlies last year. Made about as nice a move as you can see, getting around Jacob Semick and just sneaking it past Trent Miner. Didn't go high, didn't go low, just kind of went through Miner's arm. Berzan had 13 goals and 18 assists in 41 games for the Grizzlies last year as he had an AHL contract with the Colorado Eagles. Berzan, the former Avalanche draft pick. It's giving him a 4-3 lead as we get a whistle. Looks like we got an interference minor. As the Cyclones won the draw, and it's going to be on Caparuso. 2 minutes for interference. 10:25 left in the third. Berzan's goal right now is listed unassisted, 9:29 in. So the draw is going to come back towards Beck Warm as Louis Caparuso gets 2 minutes for interference. So Utah looking to tie it up as Cincinnati leads 4-3 as Luka Berzan essentially went coast to coast along the near side and then skated towards his left and snuck it past Trent Miner. Berzan about a point a game in this league this year. He also played in 10 games in the AHL this season. As the draw won by the Grizzlies, up top for Cutler. Cutler skates towards the left circle. Now he's in the corner. Up top for Sekos, who's already got a goal tonight. He'll take a lefty shot. Save. Rebound goes out in front. Grizzlies around the net. As they're behind the net, they'll chip it over to Cutler. Left side shot. Saved by Warm. Boy, for a second there, after Sekos took the shot, Warm couldn't locate it. The puck was near the goal line on the far side. Grizzlies just couldn't find a way to capitalize. Then they got it up top for Cutler, and boy, Beck Warm was able to make the save there. Warm leads the league in victories with 25. His backup's a pretty good one in Mark Sinclair. Looked like Walker got a piece of that, and Warm couldn't locate it. Watch out for Johnny Walker out in front of the net. He's outstanding redirecting ones. He had one last night. Grizzlies win the draw. Cutler left side, shot and blocked off the stick of Polino. Visor up top for Sekos. Now across to Cutler. Now back over to Sekos. One-timer, and that goes wide. Stays in play as Cutler in the near corner battles. 2 Cyclones over there. Polino gathers it, and he clears it out. Zach Sekos chases after it. Sekos gets it with good speed. Cyclones make a line change. As Sekos moves it ahead, Johnny Walker gets in the right point. Walker stops near the boards. He gets it taken away. Cincinnati trying to clear it out. It stays in as Visor leapt in the air to make sure it stayed in. Visor over to Cutler on the left side. As Cutler will bounce it up for Sekos on the left side. Now across to Cameron Wright. He'll take a righty shot. Saved by Warm. Rebound goes to the near side. Sekos cuts off on the left point. Across to the right. He's all alone. He'll take a righty shot that goes wide. Cameron Wright, who leads the league with 8 game-winning goals. He's been clutch this year. Sekos over to Wright. Right side shot. Saved by saved by Beck Warm. Warm holds on. Wright will come off. Good shift for Cameron Wright, who had a couple looks. As you mentioned, Cameron Wright's been a clutch performer as he pounds his stick on the boards as he felt like there was a missed opportunity there. Wright last season won a national championship. The University of Denver, DU. He'll be watching with intent the college Frozen Four college tournament. Wright was a big part of that last year. Utah wins the draw after making a line change, though. Left side, throws it across. Fitz couldn't reach it. Puck bounces to Shearer. He's on the right side. He'll feed it back to the corner for Jamison. Now Fitz on the right side, just outside the circle. Up top for Shearer. Glides it across for Tho. Tho will give it to Shearer on the right side. As Shearer back to Tho. Skates towards the high slot. Tho surveys, fakes a shot, and gets to the Shearer. Right side shot. And it's blocked away by Warm. Cincinnati gets it. Sean Allen clears it out. 8:43 and counting left in the third. Cincinnati leads 4-3. As Tho moves to Shearer across the center ice. Right wing pass to the Rooster. Martel gets poked away by Berzola. As Fitz will fire it into the corner. It glides towards the slot. Mingo will try to clear it out. Fitz keeps it in. Right wing shot goes wide. As Martel wearing number 27. As Caparuso's out of the box. Puck's at neutral ice. Caparuso is skating the other way or would have glided right to him. So gains the line left side. Gets it across to Fitz. It tapped off a Mingo's stick. And rolls to Caparuso. 2-on-3. Caparuso gets around Jamison. Skates towards the left circle. He drops off for Andrusiak. Backhand shot goes wide. Andrusiak skates towards the near corner to get it. He'll throw it to Caparuso. He'll take a lefty shot that's blocked by Shearer. Caparuso gets it back. Now over to Sean Allen. He'll take a lefty shot. Safe. Rebound shot goes wide. Now Mingo gets it in the right point. Feeds it across to Allen, but it glanced off his stick and glides towards the Grizzlies bench. Allen gathers it. Utah makes a line change. Mingo at the Cincinnati blue line. Throws a blue line to blue line pass to 5. And Druziak tries to locate it near the boards. He gets hit by Power. And Druziak has it scored out to center ice. Pouncey reaches it. Kyle gains center ice and dumps it in from the right wing. Pouncey with good speed gathers the puck. He'll throw it to Powers. It glides along the near boards. As Penner wings it back around. Pouncey gets pushed by Sean Allen. Both guys former Wichita Thunders. And now it goes back to the right side. Connor McDonald over to the right corner. McDonald now around the net. Gets around Sean Allen, but McDonald loses the puck. Allen flips it high into the air. Almost hits the roof. It drops at center ice. McDonald over towards Semick. Now to Power on the left side. Power dumps it in from neutral ice. Berzola wings it across. It lifts into the air. And it looks like the puck was played with a high stick or something. 7:03 left in the third. Draw's going to be in the Cincinnati zone. And I'm not exaggerating when I say that Sean Allen cleared the puck and it almost hit the roof. I've never seen a puck go that high and not hit something. That was incredible. Looks like Allen's going to get, or Cincinnati's going to get another penalty. Caparuso skating towards the penalty box. 7:03 left in the third. Doesn't look like a penalty, but the door's open. Let's see. Draw's going to be in the right circle of Cincinnati's zone. Referee talking it over at the scores table. Doesn't look like a media timeout. It's not the under 6 timeout. It's possible the referee just wanted to take a breather. Draws give me in the right circle. It's Cincinnati 4, Utah 3. Grizz have outshot the Cyclones 30-25. Last game of the series, but it's not the last game of the homestand, as Wichita will be in town Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. Face-off all 3 nights will be at 7:10. Grizzlies win the draw. Lefty blast by Tho from the right side goes wide. Cincinnati will clear it out to center. Tho gets the bouncing puck as he gets to the Utah blue line, moves ahead to Sekos. It glanced off his stick. Burzan throws to Barry, who skates to the left corner. He gets it. Very familiar with the surroundings. 2 stints with the Grizzlies. As Cincinnati around the net, Polino falls down, hits the side of the net. Net stays in play. As Cameron Wright will bounce it off the near boards for Walker, who glides it across to Wright. Wright skates down the middle. Now towards the slot. He'll take a righty shot. Saved by Warm. And then Wright got pretty close to Beck Warm. Johnny Walker as well. Walker pointing to the goal line, saying that Wright scored. As we mentioned before, Johnny Walker could stop 10 feet in front of the goaltender, but instead he gets right in there. And so does Cameron Wright. And that effort, we saw Cameron Wright get a game winner against Kansas City a couple weeks ago in a similar fashion, just being ultra aggressive, attacking the net. And Wright in a very similar fashion there. Boy, Warm looked like he was covering it up. Wright skated towards Warm. Grizzlies are arguing that the puck crossed the goal line. Can you see it, though? Well, it looks like Walker's going to get a penalty. He can't believe it. But it looked like Wright and Walker were saying that, as Wright was skating in, Warm was, had he made the save, that he kind of glided himself into his own net, and then the puck had crossed the goal line. 6:30 left in the third. What's really been an entertaining hockey game. Drozgame in the Cincinnati zone. Referee and one of the linesmen talking with both captains, Justin Vive of Cincinnati and Connor McDonald of Utah. Meanwhile, Walker's in the penalty box now, wearing number 7. Wright's near the Grizzlies bench. And it looks like they're going to go to the tablets. And they're going to review, I believe, whether the puck crossed the goal line. Right now, Cincinnati has a 4-3 lead with 6 minutes and 30 seconds left in the third. If you're Ryan Kanasowicz, you like it because you can essentially use this as a timeout, and you can keep your top line on the ice. Sekos, Wright. Walker's in the box right now, but you can get Pfizer in there, some of your top forwards. Get Brandon Cutler in there. For Cincinnati, you like it as well because they're rolling with 15 skaters. One of their guys in the locker room is Jalen Smerrick, got a game misconduct. Grizzlies rolling with 16 after Bryson Martin got tossed in the game. So they're looking it over right now on the tablet. Both teams' captains looking it over. Connor McDonald in the Captain America jersey. Captain America's got a six-pack, and I certainly can't relate to that unless it's a six-pack of Mountain Dew. Referee will come out of the box. No goal, says the referee. And it's possible, you think about Beck Warm and the overhead shot, which is probably the only one you look at. I mean, can you really tell if the puck is under him where it would be? Johnny Walker gets 2 minutes for roughing, 15:30 or 13:30 into the game, into the third, 6:30 left in the third. So Cincinnati's on a power play. They're looking for some insurance. Grizzlies looking to kill the penalty. Remember, they did score a shorthanded goal early in the third period. Grizzlies looking to tie it up. Walker gets 2 for roughing. Cincinnati wins the faceoff as Andrusiak over to the left side. Caparuso couldn't reach it. Polino wings it around the boards from the left side to the right. Andrusiak over to Vive. Back to Polino. It gets up top for Caparuso. Along the far boards. Now Polino behind the goal line skates in. It gets cut off by James Shearer. And of course it's Shearer making the outstanding play. As the Grizzlies clearing out to center. Bouncing puck. Utah gets it. Sekos. He tried to get around a skater. Berzola. But Vive comes in to cut it off as he takes it away as it rolls towards the far corner and taking it Zach Berzola. This would normally be Jalen Smerrick, but he's out of the game. Smerrick throws to the left side for Caparuso, gains the line, gets around Cutler, loses the puck. McDonald skates towards the corner, couldn't clear it out. Cutler over to Pfizer. Pfizer all alone, and still carrying out to center ice. Now to Cutler on the left as he'll skate down the middle. Now veer off to the left circle, take a lefty shot. Saved by Warm. Cutler after the whistle pushes Zach Berzola as both guys stare each other down. 5:39 left in the third. Cincinnati leads 4-3. Kind of a fun sports town Cincinnati is. Cincinnati Bengals, Cincinnati Reds, and Cincinnati Cyclones play right there along the river. In fact, the Cyclones arena is right next door to Great American Ballpark, where the Cincinnati Reds play, and a couple blocks away is where the Bengals play. Bengals have had some success as of late with Joe Burrow. Cyclones have had a lot of success. They're one of the more consistent winners in the league. As Cincinnati wins the draw, they're on the power play for the next minute. Matt Berry crosses center ice. He'll skate down the middle, veer off to the left. Berry down the middle, take a righty shot, goes wide. As Berry behind the net, Burzan as well. Burzan right now has the game winner as he scored unassisted halfway through the third period. As Cincinnati rolls along the wall, Passo over to Berry. Now to the right side for Burzan, up top for Mingo, who glides it across to Passo, now to the far goal line. And Cincinnati gets up top for Mingo, but the pass is wide of the mark. Cyclones will have to reset deep in their own zone. As Mingo gets it from Beck Warm. 5 minutes left in regulation. Cincinnati leads 4-3. As Mingo skates down the middle. Now he's at neutral ice. Mingo crosses center. Left wing pass to Cincinnati. It connects. Pass out around the boards. Lee Lapide in the corner. Collides with Shearer. As Barry throws up top to Andrusiak. He'll skate down the middle. Now left wing pass. Lefty shot goes wide. That was taken by Passout. And the puck off the momentum of the glass goes all the way into the Cincinnati zone. 4 seconds left in the power play as Berzola skates towards the right side. Berzola already a goal tonight. Skates towards the corner. Walker's out of the penalty box. He'll join the play. Action in the Grizzlies zone as Andrusiak dances around in the corner. Andrusiak looks to center, glanced off the Grizzly. Now Vive feeds out in front to Caparuso. Shot saved by Minor. Now Caparuso around to Berzola on the right side. He's at the point. He keeps it in. Now to Andrusiak. But the linesman said the puck exited the zone. Offside are the Cyclones. 4:11 left in the third. It's Cincinnati 4, Utah 3. We'll find out how this one ends when we come back in 1 minute on the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
It's Cincinnati 4, Utah 3. The Cyclones were called for offside before we went to break. Luka Burzan right now has the deciding goals. He scored unassisted, 9:29 into the third period. Draw is won by the Cyclones. We're in their territory at neutral ice and move it ahead to Vive. Vive 6'6" and 237 pounds, a longtime Cyclone. Lose the puck. Now the Grizzlies throw it to the left side. As Martel dumps it in, the Rooster gets around Berzola. Vive gets blasted over towards the end wall of Cincinnati's zone, but the Cyclones get the puck. Cyclones do a great job winning the one-on-one battles out in front. It's Caparuso at center ice, dumps it in. They win the battles along the boards, and they've done a good job doing all the little things. Cincinnati, one of the best teams in the league. They got the second best record in the league. Sure over to McDonald, back to Sure. 3.5 minutes left in the third as Sure skates down the middle, still in his own zone. And moving out to Fitz at center ice. It bounced off his stick and rolls towards Beckwarm, the Cincinnati goaltender. Cyclones off the near glass will ice the puck as Aaron Tho skates over there. No icing. Cyclones make a line change as 3:20 is now left in the third. As fans take up a Let's Go Grizzlies chant. As now the whistle blows. And Sean Allen and Johnny Walker away from the play had some words, and Matt Berry's going to get a penalty. So it's going to be a Grizzlies power play, it looks like. Or is it? Johnny Walker is going to skate to the penalty box as well. So Walker's gliding towards the penalty box. Berry's already in there. Oh, now the referee's telling Walker to go to the locker room. Looks like Walker struck a nerve with the referee, and the referee tells Johnny Walker, locker room's that way. 3:19 left in the third. Walker's going to walk towards the locker room. He slams his stick along the board on the wall. We're going to skate even strength, I believe, but it looks like Walker's picked up a misconduct to go along with a 2-minute penalty. This referee is going to skate towards the Cincinnati bench. Jason Payne's the head coach, and the assistant is Chad McLeod. Jared Power is going to represent Johnny Walker in the box. It looks like Walker is going to get an early shower. 3 minutes, 19 seconds left in the third, last of a 3-game series. Cyclones lead 4-3. On Wednesday night, they won 6-4, and we had an outstandingly entertaining game on Friday with a pretty good crowd where Cincinnati won 4-3. Jason Payne, the Cincinnati coach, he's done an outstanding job with the Cyclones. The coach for Cincinnati, Matt Thomas, was pretty good as well. I remember Thomas has been in this league for a while. Ryan Kanaswich, Grizzlies head coach, done an outstanding job, and this is his second season. Draw is going to be at center ice. We believe that Walker got a 2-minute penalty and a misconduct. And Matt Berry picked up a penalty as well. So we're skating 4-on-4. Ice opens up a little bit more as Utah wins the face-off. 3:15 left in the third. As Sure moves ahead to Cameron Wright. Wright leads the league in game-winning goals. Over to Sekos. He's got a goal and an assist tonight. Sekos skates in. High slot. Lefty shot. Saved by Warm. As Pfizer over in the point loses the puck. Patrick Polino. He's got a breakaway to the right side. Net is empty. And Polino skates in. He shoots. He scores. Cincinnati leads 5-3. As Utah gambled and pulled Trent Miner with 3 minutes left in regulation. Polino won a one-on-one battle. And then once he got to Grizzlies territory, we noticed the net was empty. And he just fired away. Bang, Polino gets his fourth of the series. It's now 5-3. 1:39 left in the 4-on-4. As it's an empty net goal by Patrick Polino with 2:58 left. It's right now listed as unassisted. Polino's fourth goal of the series. As Miner's in net right now, as it's now 5-3. Cincinnati in the lead. Though with a near wing pass as it goes to Cameron Wright. It's neutral ice. Wright nudges it in. Sean Allen skates towards the near corner right in the area. Wright gets the puck. He'll throw it up top for Cutler. Cutler left side. Shot saved by Warm. Out in front, Semick battling with Mingo as the puck squirts out up top for Though on the right side. Now Cutler over to Wright. Toe drag. Righty shot and it's blocked by Allen's stick. As Cincinnati will skate around the net. Josh Passote will skate down the middle. Passote will gain center ice. Now he'll skate down the middle as he gets it taken away. Good defensive play by Aaron Tho. As now it goes out to center ice. Passo gathers it and dumps it back in, or he tried to at least. Hit off the linesman. Those skates down the middle. Gets around Berzola, but gets poked away. Good defensive play by Cincinnati. Cyclones lifted out to center ice near the bench area. Passo dumps it in. As Utah chases after it, less than 2 minutes left in the third. It's 5-3 Cyclones. As with about 3 minutes left in regulation, Trent Miner is pulled for an extra skater, but Patrick Polino, about the time Miner came off, was able to get the puck. Sure, on the left side, rolls it around the boards. Grizzlies to the right side. Martell couldn't cut it off. He gathers it, throws it between his legs for Pfizer. One-timer goes wide from the right side. 1:25 left in the third. Miner's still in there. As Andrusiak gains the offensive line, glides along the boards. Both teams are back at full strength as Power and Barry enter for their respective sides. Barry buckles up his helmet as he's in front of the net, battle in the far corner. Time is on Cincinnati's side. Taryn Pfizer behind the net will start skating north-south. Pfizer glides it ahead, off the boards. Right couldn't reach it. No icing is right now around Cincinnati's net. High chips out in front. Righty shot. Saved by Beck Warm. What a creative play by right behind the net. Chipped it out in front to Jordan Martell. Rooster already with one goal tonight on a rebound out in front. Well, that was a great pass by Cameron Wright, but Beck Warm was able to make the save. 54.9 seconds left in the third period. Looks like Cincinnati's going to sweep Utah. 3 straight games here at Maverick Center. But don't forget the Wichita Thunder will be in town starting on Wednesday night for a big 3-game series. After this evening's game, we'll have 9 left in the regular season. 7 of them will be at Maverick Center. As the Grizzlies win the draw, they're in the offensive zone. Aaron Tho to the right side. He'll skate in, shot saved by Warm. And now Cincinnati gets it. Miner is off the ice. Caparuso gains center ice, so fire towards the empty net. Andy scores as this baby's in the refrigerator. The Cyclones are going to sweep the Grizzlies in this 3-game set as Louis Caparuso gets an empty netter as he scored from about center ice down the middle. Caparuso gets his 22nd of the year. And Cincinnati high-fives everybody on the bench. And it looks like their winning streak's going to extend to 9 games. And they'll now have a standing point in 21 straight games. Brandon Cutler, who didn't see Marc-Olivier Phaneuf in the first 2 games of this series, having some words for Phaneuf here. Caparuso scores unassisted 19-20 into the third period. Well, two empty netters at the end. The 6-3 final won't necessarily reflect how close this game really was. As Utah wins the draw, Semick throws it across to Pouncey. Now back to Semick, who will skate down the middle. Now he's at neutral ice. He crosses center. Left wing pass to Penner. Never got to him. Semick will keep it and dump it in. As Semick was battling with Passolt. Josh's first name is Matt Berry crosses center ice. Miner's in there right now. 20 seconds left. So he'll throw it to the corner. Taken by Semick, who will lift it over the head of Fitz and Passolt. As no icing on the play. 12 seconds left as Cincinnati will watch the time run out. And the Cincinnati Cyclones will extend their winning streak to 9 games. They came to Maverick Center, and they scored 16 goals in the 3-game set as they won 6-4 on Wednesday, 4-3 on Friday, and 6-3 here this afternoon as the Grizzlies have now lost 4 in a row and a missed opportunity as Utah tied the score at 3 as Zach Secco scored a shorthanded goal a minute into the third. Luka Burzan gets what turns out to be the game winner as he made a great move going coast to coast on the right side and got one past Trent Miner, his teammate of last season. And then 2 empty net goals as Patrick Polino scored with about 3 minutes left in regulation. It was a 4-on-4 situation. Puck ended up in the Cincinnati zone, and about the time Miner left the ice, Polino got the puck and just skated along the right side, very similar to how Burzan did, and just had an empty net once he got around the Grizzlies. So, and then an empty netter was scored by Louis Caparuso with 40 seconds left. So it's Cincinnati 6, Utah 3, and the Grizzlies will have 3 more home games this week, and they got to bounce back because they take on a Wichita Thunder team. And they've had success against lately, as Utah has a 7-game winning streak against Wichita. They won all 5 meetings last year, and Utah won each of the first 2 meetings this season. Final score here at Maverick Center, Cincinnati 6, Utah 3. Post-game show coming up. We'll talk with Guy Chiarenza, and we'll also talk with Tim Broussard and get their thoughts on things. The Cyclones extend their winning streak to 9 games. They now have a standing point in 21 straight. That's a fourth of a season. Grizzlies are with 61 standings points. We'll take a quick look before we go to break at the Rapid City game, as looks like Rapid City lost in regulation 4-3. So the Grizzlies are still tied for 5th place with Rapid City in the Mountain Division. We'll come back in 1 minute and give you the post-game report. Once again, the final score, Cincinnati 6, Utah 3. This is Utah Grizzlies hockey, presented by Rio Tinto Kennecott.
Maverick's new bean-to-cup machines always deliver a freshly ground cup of coffee on demand, so you can enjoy any of our premium roasts at their best, day or night, hot or iced. Enjoy a fresh cup today.
Final score here at Maverick Center. Utah Grizzlies lose 6-3 to the Cincinnati Cyclones. I'm Tyson Whiting here with Guy Chiarenza. Cincinnati scored first, 13-32 in, as Matt Berry got his 16th of the year. It was unassisted as Trent Miner got the puck as he raced way out of his crease into the near circle. Got the puck before Berry tried to clear it out of the zone. Bounced off of Berry, and then Berry got it and essentially had an empty net. Berry scored. Cincinnati led 1-0 after one period. Utah outshot Cincinnati 10-9 in the first period. In the second period, both teams lost a defenseman to a game misconduct. Bryson Martin, 4:34 in, and Jalen Smerick, 14:14 in. Grizzlies scored 2 goals, 11 seconds apart. Brandon Cutler, who just came back to the Grizzlies earlier today as he was released from his player tryout with the Colorado Eagles. He's played with 3 different AHL teams this season. Cutler about a point a game for the Grizzlies this year. He got his 11th of the year. Sekos and Wright with the assist. That was a power play goal, 1:55 into the second, and then 11 seconds later, Keaton Jamison took a shot from the right side. It bounced off of Beck Warm, and getting the rebound and putting it away was Jordan Martell, the Rooster, who got his 11th of the season. Jamison and Semick with the assists. Utah had a 2-1 lead. On a 5-on-3 power play for Cincinnati, Zach Berzola got his 5th of the year. Dejan Mingo and Luka Burzan with the assists. Then Cincinnati took a 3-2 lead as Sean Allen scored from the right point. Allen gets his first of the season, and this is 61st game. Luka Burzan and Josh Passot with the assists. Cincinnati led 3-2 after 2 periods. Grizzlies tied it up as Zach Secco scored shorthanded, 1:14 into the third, and that tied it up at 3, and at that point it was anybody's game. The game-winning goal scored by Luka Burzan, who gets full revenge on his former team as he was a Grizzly last year. He skated along the right side, went coast to coast, got around a couple skaters, and just snuck it past Trent Miner. It didn't go high, didn't go low, just kind of got through the Utah netminder. That's the game winner as Luka Burzan gets his 8th of the season. Burzan ended up with 1 goal and 2 assists and was a +3. He's going to be the number 1 star tonight. And he got the game winner. And then with 3 minutes left in regulation, we're skating 4-on-4. And I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't say that I was a bit surprised that Utah's net was empty at that point in the game. Polino put it away from the right wing, and that made it a 5-3 contest. Then Louis Caparuso capped off the scoring with an empty netter with about 40 seconds left in regulation, officially listed as 19-19. Into the third, that's unassisted. The Polino goal is unassisted. And so is the Luka Burzan goal as of right now. They may add assists to those goals a little bit later on. Both teams went 1 for 6 on the power play. Grizzlies had a shorthanded goal. And, for the Grizzlies, it's Jed celebrating a birthday today. And happy birthday, Jed, as he's now on Section 114. So good to see Jed on his birthday. 29 years old, I believe, is what Jed is. So happy 29th to Jed. Somewhere around there. I don't know what his real age is. We'll say 29. Happy 29th to Jed. And so he's out here celebrating a birthday. Luckily, since the game is over and it's only, 5:53, he can have a birthday dinner, which wouldn't be the case if the Grizzlies played a night game. So Cincinnati wins 6-3. Shots were advantage to the Grizzlies, 34-28. Beck Warm gets the victory in net for Cincinnati. He stopped 31 of 34. Trent Miner stopped 22 of 26, and there were 2 empty net goals. And, they're all games that could have gone either way. I think that's the disappointing thing about this series. Wednesday's game could have gone either way. It was essentially a 1-goal game, and in fact, it was tied with 3 minutes left in regulation. Friday, Utah overcame a 4-2 deficit. They were down 4-2, scored a third period goal, and then, I don't know, it was one of those, Walker scored to make it 4-3, and then Utah hit a post that could have tied the game. And then here today, tied at 3, Burzan makes a great play, and even at 4-3, you're thinking, okay, we're skating 4-on-4. I mean, there's an opportunity to open up the ice. The Grizzlies have some speedy guys out there. And then when Polino got the puck, it was just about the same time that Trent Miner was off the ice. And unfortunately, that Polino empty netter just kind of took the air out of the building. And it was all she wrote for Cincinnati, who added an empty netter at the end. And, Guy, you got a big series coming up with Wichita. With Rapid City losing today, you're tied with them for 5th place. With the victory, the Grizzlies could have jumped ahead of Allen for 4th place in the division. But you look at this series just kind of being missed opportunities for the Grizzlies, who allowed 16 goals in the series.
Yeah, huge missed opportunity, Tyson. I mean, all 3 games, I thought the Grizzlies fought hard and really played well, but great teams win. And Cincinnati is a great team. I mean, the run that they're on is incredible now. 21-game point streak, 9-game winning streak overall. We knew they were going to be tough to beat coming into this series, and the Grizzlies, I'll give them credit, really hung in there and tried to stick through it and just escape with a few points, but they just weren't able to do it against a good team like Cincinnati. And really, this is one of those series where you'd like to have that mind wipe thing for Men in Black, where you just forget about it. And I think that's exactly what the Grizzlies need to do going into Wichita, is just forget about this one. It was a tough series coming in, tough series played. I thought the Grizzlies fought hard, played well. Just bring that energy into Wichita, and I think the Grizzlies will be just fine.
And you knew that coming in, that Cincinnati was an outstanding team. And, there were some positives. Zach Sekos had 1 goal and 1 assist. And I think once Brandon Cutler gets reacclimated, I think he's going to be a pretty dominant force for the Grizzlies down the stretch. He had a 2nd period goal in the power play. James Shearer, I thought, away from the puck once again was outstanding, especially out in front of Utah's net. We'll see if any discipline comes out of the Bryson Martin slashing major. And if you're Cincinnati, you have to obviously watch to see if Jalen Smerrick gets something. He got a game misconduct as well. The unfortunate thing, though, when you're talking about consistency, is you just need a consistent effort from everybody. And I think we know that the goaltenders are capable of being really good goaltenders. And when Trent Myers at his best, when he's got his A game, nobody scores on him. When Lucas Parikh has his A game on, nobody can score on him. The same can be the case for Garrett Metcalf, who was the backup this afternoon. Unfortunately, it just hasn't quite been there. And, it's a team like Cincinnati. They know how to get in those scoring areas, but I think if the Grizzlies want to make a real playoff run, get to the playoffs, and then do some damage there, they're going to need 3 goals to stand up in a game, because the Grizzlies in all 3 games of this series scored 3 or more goals. Now, at home, you hope that's enough to come away with a victory.
Yeah, Tyson, I agree. I don't think the goal scoring is a problem. I think the Grizzlies are playing well 5-on-5, and that's something that we've wanted to see all season long. The power play needs some work. I mean, we've gone over that before. They did get 1 tally tonight, but it seems like that big 5-minute major was a missed opportunity for the Grizzlies in this game. And you're right, Trent Miner, Lucas Parikh, Garrett Metcalf. All 3 of them. We know they're elite goalies. We know they're great guys on and off the ice. But really, for the Grizzlies, it's just, did you get that save when you needed the save to be made? And tonight, you can probably say no. I'm fine with Trent Miner going out and making that gamble. I think you're right. I think he didn't really understand how fast Barry was. That other goal that I think Cincinnati 3rd one from Allen, I think that one was just a tough break, just a tough bounce. I don't know if he got a whole lot on it, but for the Grizzlies, you need him to make that save. And tonight it was Beck Warm that stood tall for Cincinnati. The Grizzlies did have the shot edge in this game, 34 to Cincinnati's 28. So, you think in a game like that, it comes down to goaltending. You think about that gamble by Miner, you think about that blocker save that he should have made, that could be the difference.
9 games left in the regular season. 7 of them will be at Maverick Center Incidentally, the Grizzlies have a better record on the road this season. They're now 13-16 at home. They're 16-15-3 on the road. But Utah's had a lot of success against Wichita in recent years. They won all 5 meetings last season. They swept Wichita in a 2-game set in the first weekend of March over at Intrust Bank Arena. And then you got them coming in for 3. Wichita, if I remember right, won 2 out of 3 games, and I think got 5 out of 6 standings points maybe against Iowa in a 3-game series. Wichita doesn't have games in hand. I mean, it seemed like they played more games than everybody else, but Wichita right now with 66 standings points and a .516 point percentage. Thunder have been a pretty good team at home, but they've struggled on the road a little bit, 10-20-2 on the road. And for the Grizzlies, well, those are pretty much must-win games, considering that Utah's got Idaho the following week for 3 games, 2 in Boise and then 1 here at Maverick Center. And you want to put yourself in a good position with Tulsa coming in the last 3 games of the regular season. So I wouldn't say it's do or die. You must win those games against Wichita, but we're coming down the stretch to where, right now the Grizzlies are on the outside looking in, and these start to turn into must-win type of games.
I agree, Tyson. I mean, you read my mind. I mean, I think that these games against Wichita, this might determine the season. I think the Grizzlies need to at least win this series against the Thunder, because you think about that Mountain Division playoff race, it's tight. And right now, you're right, the Grizzlies are out on the outside looking in. You don't have any more games against Kansas City. You don't have any more games against Allen. You got Idaho and then Tulsa. So, I mean, you think about the Wichita series and the Tulsa series, you got to win those games, because if you go up to Idaho and and again, you face a powerhouse team like Cincinnati and you aren't able to come away with any standing points, you better make sure that you get the standing points against teams that you should beat in Wichita and Tulsa.
Well, we see why Cincinnati's got the record that they have. You don't get that if you don't close out games. Cincinnati's great at closing out with a lead, and so I'd say the play of the game, and we need to find a sponsor for the play of the game. The Luka Burzan goal is the play of the game. We were wondering if at some point in the series he was going to get revenge on his former team, and it was the second half of it was like halfway through the third period of the final game of the series, and Luka Burzan, who I was really impressed with last year, and he's just one of those hustle players that has skill, and he seemed like he scored a lot of big third period goals for the Grizzlies last year, and he scored a big third period goal here this evening.
That goal was huge, Tyson. And Luka Burzan, with a burst of speed, just really ran up here along the right side boards and just went in and beat Trent Miner. It really was a beautiful goal. But for the Grizzlies, it's tough. It's tough to see a guy that you played with last year now on the other side handing you yet another loss here, especially when you're in the thick of the playoff race. It stinks. And for Matt Berry, too, I mean, he was on the Grizzlies roster a few years ago. He factored in big time in this game as well. So it just sucks to see. But for the Grizzlies, you just got to take it and move on and just focus on the Wichita Thunder.
We'll talk with Guy later on in the post-game report, but when we come back, we'll talk with Tim Broussard and get his thoughts on things as Cincinnati defeats Utah 6-3. We're back in 30 seconds on the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
Welcome back to the post-game report. I'm Tyson Whiting here with Tim Broussard. Tim, got to say I was a little bit surprised the net was empty. There were 3 minutes when Patrick Polino skated towards the Grizzlies zone to really put the baby in the refrigerator to make it a 5-3 game. And, it was a gamble. I mean, the Grizzlies had a couple gambles there, and unfortunately the gamble just didn't pay off as Polino got the puck and made it a 5-3 game on the empty netter.
Yeah, we didn't do too good at gambling tonight. We had a couple of those instances go against us, but maybe the coach was, just feeling like now or never. And, he's got a vibe on his team. And if he feels like, that's the opportune time of the apex of the energy and like now or never, then I wouldn't second guess, Kanasowicz on that. But that was like 309 or something like that Trent Miner was pulled for the first of the 2 empty net goals. So, and talk about no drama, right? 2 seconds after he's pulled, they dump it in. So a little frustrating, little missed opportunity
with
there.
That you couldn't really take advantage of having the extra skater moving the puck around and seeing if we can find a way to tie the game.
But that was the problem the whole night. I mean, we were horrible at puck handling tonight. We I think that was our biggest problem. We couldn't get into the zone and puck handle. We couldn't puck handle through the neutral zone. We had issues puck handling in our own defensive end. I think that was probably one of the sole core issues tonight was with anything, we talked about, well, is the ice choppy? I'm like, well, yeah, probably, but the no flow is like we can't receive a pass tonight for whatever reason, and then have any continuity coming into our own zone and setting up anything.
Luka Burzan scored some big goals for the Grizzlies last year, and he picked up a big one there to make it 4-3. I mean, we saw it last year. A lot of his goals were big third-period goals, and he did it to Utah here today.
Give credit where credit is due. That was one of the prettiest moves. He did that kind of twist, tuck, slant, cut, tuck in, and rolled his wrist dang near backwards to get the blade of that stick to tuck right in on Trent. And that's no easy feat, because Trent, when he's down low, he covers all kind of room, but just had it right in there, and it was awesome.
Well, Wichita comes in for 3 games. Utah will be home for 7 of their last 9. Things are not over yet. This guy and I have mentioned this thing's going to probably come down to the wire in the regular season. Probably going to come down to that final weekend when Tulsa is here. But you're going to have to come away with something good against Wichita to get yourself in the playoff race, because right now Utah is on the outside looking in.
Right, going into the third period tonight, I'm like, well, at least get one. At least get one. Nope, that didn't happen. So that really sets you up for, okay, are you going to be better Wichita? You're going to be better than Tulsa, and because you got Idaho in between. So the plate stacked for you. I still think it's within the Grizzlies' hands to decide what they're going to do, or they control their own destiny to a certain point. But they're going to have to make it matter, and they're going to, if they want in, they're going to have to beat those teams that are ahead of them and make it count. Not just 1 point. They're going to have to come out with 2 points out of this Wichita series in at least 2 of the 3 games.
Yep, that's just what the Grizzlies have to do. But luckily they're at Maverick Center, but they've been record-wise a better team on the road. So it's just find a way to protect home ice, and they'll reach the playoffs once again this season to defend their Mountain Division title. And Cincinnati, Idaho's obviously the 1 seed. Can the Grizzlies find a way to get that 3 seed, maybe a 2 seed? It's still within reach. It's just 2 through 6 is that stacked right now.
Right.
And obviously the Grizzlies are doing some scoreboard watching. Rapid City lost today to Fort Wayne 4-3. So Utah's tied with Rapid City for 5th place, 1 point behind Allen, who's in 2nd place. Kansas City, I think they played Tulsa today. Let's see if the Mavericks won. Kansas City won 4-2 over Tulsa. So Kansas City right now is tied with Wichita for 2nd place with 66 standings points in the Mountain Division. Remember, Utah went 7-1 against Kansas City this season. So it's stacked at the top, but obviously Utah can do some things here this week against a Wichita team that they've won 7 straight against over the last couple of years.
The blessing is, we control what we do, and we don't, have to rely on everybody else's, demise to get in. But with that said, coming out of the Wichita series, with 3 points, I don't think that's going to be good enough. You're going to need 4 or 5
or maybe a sweep. Maybe a sweep Wichita.
You might have to pull that sweep out if you want in, and because we haven't played that well. We haven't put together that string of just well-played games throughout the year. And then now you find yourself in at crunch time, you're cramming for your final, so to speak. And so here's your table. So there it is. It's all set out for you. You're going to have to go out and get it.
Thanks for joining us here this afternoon.
Appreciate it, Tyson.
When we come back, we'll put a bow on this one as Cincinnati defeats Utah 6-3 in the final game of the set, as the Cyclones have now won 9 straight. This is Utah Grizzlies hockey, presented by Rio Tinto Kennecott. It's the Cyclones 6, the Grizzlies 3. I'm Tyson Whiting here with Guy Chiarenza. 3 stars of the game. 3rd star, Zach Sekos of Utah, had 1 goal and 1 assist. He had 2 shots. Sekos scored that game-tying goal shorthanded, 1:14 into the 3rd period. And he's the number 3 star. Number 2 star, Zach Berzola, who had 1 goal and 2 shots. He scored 6:28 into the 2nd period. But the number 1 star this evening was Luka Burzan, the former Grizzly, getting revenge on his former team. He had 1 goal, 2 assists, was a +3, and had 2 shots. And Guy, he had 13 regular season goals and 2 in the playoffs for the Grizzlies, and it felt like just about every one of Luka Berzan's goals last season were clutch. And so it's really no surprise that he came up with a big clutch goal for Cincinnati today.
I mean, Tyson, just thinking back to like the Western Conference final run from last year, I mean, Luka Berzan, he was special. He was a special player. I mean, the Grizzlies really miss him on their lineup. I mean, you think about having a guy like that on your roster. I mean, you mentioned, but those game-winning goals, I think the Grizzlies really could use a presence like that. But the unfortunate thing is they are without Luka Berzan, and tonight just so happens that he's the one that put the dagger in the back of the Utah Grizzlies here tonight. It just stinks.
It's good to get Brandon Cutler back, and really in 2 of the 3 games, Wednesday and Sunday, and maybe even a little bit Friday. I think the Rooster, Jordan Martell, is really a standout performer. 2 goals and 1 assist on Wednesday. He scored a goal on a rebound early in the second period this afternoon. I think the Rooster could be a big factor for the Grizzlies down the stretch.
I agree, Tyson. I really like that line with Martell, Jameson, and Power. I thought that those guys throughout the course of the series really developed some really good chemistry. So I think that's something to watch out for. And as you mentioned in the pregame and really all throughout the broadcast, depth scoring is what the Grizzlies are going to need if they're going to make the playoffs and then do some damage in said playoffs. And right now you need a line like that, and they're getting production from it. And it's great to see Brandon Cutler back in a Grizzlies uniform as he's a lethal weapon, and he proved it here tonight.
You can bid on the game-worn jerseys up until 9 p.m. Mountain Time. Johnny Walker is going for $760. No, you don't get Johnny Walker. You just get the jersey. $760 is what Johnny Walker's going for. A lot of them in the 300s. Cameron Wright going for $400 right now. We didn't see Christian Simeone after the first period. Hopefully he's okay. He's got 2 bids, $450 for Christian Simeone. Hopefully he's okay. He blocked a shot in the first period, gutted it out the rest of the first period, but we didn't see him after that. Lucas Preku was not in uniform today, but this is going for $390. Garrett Metcalf, $347. Semick, $330. Vic Bartley, $340. Bartley was out of the lineup. Trent Miner, $370. And Grisby going for $400. You can bid up until 9 p.m. Mountain tonight for the game-worn jerseys. Johnny Walker in the lead, and he's in the lead by a wide margin.
That's pretty crazy, Tyson. I think that might be the highest total I've seen all season long at Johnny Walker Captain America jersey. But he looked pretty good out there. I like what Johnny was able to bring to the table here tonight, and those are some cool-looking jerseys. So I think it's justified.
Hey, Johnny's a fun player to watch. You know, he redirected a shot on Saturday, and he's somebody that just, I think if you think back 10 years from now at this particular season, Walker is going to be one of the players you remember. You know, it doesn't seem like you remember every single player, but Johnny Walker, Cameron Wright, you know, those are going to be some of the guys that 10 years down the road, you hear their name in a random thought, or maybe have a random thought, and they're going to be the ones that you remember.
I agree. I mean, Johnny Walker is just such a fun player to watch. I mean, he's an agitator. He's a thorn in the other team's side, and I think we saw that here in the Cincinnati series. Something I really thought that the Grizzlies missed when he was out of the lineup, especially against teams like Allen and the Wichita Thunder. It's just that's a guy that you want to have on your team to kind of just test the other team a little bit, and so it's good to have his services back. And he can also score too, which we saw last night. So Johnny Walker's got a sick pair of hands, and he can use them to fight and score. What more can he ask for?
I was hoping we could say hi to Andrew Mossbrooks, but it looks like he's already taken off. But it's good to see the Cincinnati broadcaster here in attendance, watching live hockey. Unfortunately, not sure we're going to see Jason Malls of Wichita. He'll have to watch the remote feeds, I guess, even though it's a big series. It'd be nice to see Jason Malls here at Maverick Center, the Wichita broadcaster, who, like Tommy Daniels of Allen, broadcasted his 1,000th game earlier this season. But nevertheless, it should be a lot of fun as the Wichita Thunder will be at Maverick Center Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. Face-off all 3 nights will be at 7:10. Guy, it looks like the post-game skate's going on right now. Some Grizzlies players out there along with fans, and everybody looks like they're having a good time after this Sunday night affair. Any final thoughts?
Well, Tyson, it's tough to come away with no standing points in a series against Cincinnati, a really good team. I thought the Grizzlies fought hard. I liked the way that they played. I think it's something to build upon, and it just sets the stage for a big series against the Wichita Thunder. I'm looking forward to it.
3 big games against Wichita this Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. Get your tickets at UtahGrizzlies.com. This game went 2 hours and 36 minutes and was played in front of an impressive 4,010 here on a Sunday afternoon at Maverick Center. Cincinnati got 1 goal and 2 assists from former Grizzly Luka Burzan as they defeat the Grizzlies 6-3 to complete a 3-game sweep, as Cincinnati has now won 9 in a row, and they've got a standing point in 21 straight. Grizzlies tied for 5th place in the Mountain Division with Rapid City. They're taking on Wichita this week, who's tied for 2nd with Kansas City, as each team has 66 standings points. We hope you enjoyed the broadcast, but not necessarily the final outcome. For Tim Broussard and Guy Chiarenza, I'm Tyson Whiting, and it is what it is.